Welcome back to the Pasterfield Complex in Cameron Park. This magnificent new facility that is enormous credit to the late Macquarie Council on what they've done here. Lucas James Holmes and me, David Redden, and our man Kendall Clausen back for the Black Diamond Cup. Cardiff and Newcastle City. Lucas.
Yes, David. It's going to be it's always a mouth-watering clash between these two, David. And yes, good afternoon to everybody out there.
I have an important footy phone call to make. Can you just talk for a couple of
I can, yes. Always a mouth-watering clash between these two powerhouse clubs of our league. I shall quickly go through the team list for everybody. Firstly, the Cardiff Australian Football Club. 1, Simon O'Brien. 3, Matty Vukovic. 4, Jack Lennon. 5, Jack Pratt is a late out. 6, Nick Tomlinson. 7, Bryce Gratz. 8, Michael Ryan. 9, Jared Campbell. 11, Pat Delaney. 12, Adam Clark. 17, Daniel Robson. 18, Brant Jobe. 21, Connor Edwards. 23, Hugh O'Neill. 24, Regan Bowe. 28, Liam Gibson. 29, David O'Donnell. 35, Marcus Delure. 40, Xander Cross. 46, Isaac Hughes. 53, Tim Keys. 56, Tom Hawthorne. And then the emergency for the Pratt mission is 10, Christopher Davies. Newcastle City Australian Football Club. 1, Aidan Watling. 2, Mac O'Malley. 3, Harrison Selkirk. 4, Stephen Batten. 5, Luke Rawnsley. 7, Connor Haswell. 8, Joe O'Donoghue. 10, Hugh Blanchfield. 11, Isaac King. 13, Mitchell Knight. 14, Cade Triffett. 15, Ian Baker. 17, Ethan Durbridge. 18, Hamish Thompson. 19, Jackson Crawford. 21, Zach McDonald. 23, Cam Keese. 26, Liam Dwyer. 28, Anthony Baker. 30, Hugh Kelleher. 38, Max Quinlan. And 77, Brady Sweeten, David. And the umpires this afternoon, field umpires, Dave Parsons, Ryan Stanton, Sam O'Brien. Running the boundary, Simon and Miles McCauley. Goal umpires, Nellie Biden and John Sullivan, David.
Thank you, Lucas, for doing that. Just chasing up a score from earlier on that plate. Funny what the result was there. I got a quick call, so I just want to know. I'm getting someone from the AFL just checking that for us what actually happened, so we can give our viewers some updated, accurate scores. Look, this is a massive game. It's first test for Newcastle City. Lucas Holmes and I are going to be sharing commentating today.
We are.
And Lucas has agreed to do what I did a few years ago, and the great Gary Birkinshaw said, right, you can be the central commentator now, and I said my result was, what? So Lucas has been doing this for quite a while. He's far more suited to this than I am, in that he knows football, understands it, speaks really well. So Louis and I are going to be sharing commentating, and looking forward to it actually very much. So Kendall Clausen, our cameraman and producers over here. How are you, Kendall? Great to have you on board as he is every week. Really very fine young man, does a great job looking after us at Bar TV. Terrific for cinematographer and a good producer, and keeps me honest, Lucas, and keeps me in check.
Keeps us all honest, David.
There's very few people in this world that can do it, but he does. No, great to have Kendall here, and to the crew at Tigers Hill in the bunker. Hello, everybody. Brendan, Josh, everybody back at Bar TV. What are you looking at?
We're just having a toss, David, at this stage.
This is a massive game. The first Newcastle City into a 14-day set. Lucas, who's going where?
Standing as they are, David. Newcastle City hitting left to right.
With the wind. So Newcastle City's next 14-day set, Lucas Holmes, they have Cardiff, Warners Bay at number 1. Then they have Terragulavoca the week after the holiday on Bar TV at Hilton Moore Oval. So big step up for City. I think that they've been very good with okay opposition. Here's a test. This is what we love doing, Lucas Holmes. Lucas doesn't travel back for Bathurst for nothing, and every week, which he does, which is an enormous effort from the young man.
Only for another 2 weeks, David, then on my
what, a 12-week mid-semester holiday at Bathurst, so just like
5.
Yeah, thank you.
It should be good. Have the
I
pleasure.
will tell you some stories about Bathurst University one day later on. Lucas will just chuckle with them. But yes, they have a lot of residential schools at Bathurst. So
have the pleasure of calling 3 games next week as well, David, at Adelaide Street Oval, with Warners Bay Plateside having the bye. So we'll join you for 3 games down there.
Get the diff flame out, I tell you. The Ulster will be going after 3. But will Mike and James Newburn up to give us some of his wisdom? Well, I'm not sure about Jimmy with wisdom, but anyway. We'll just see if we can find out if there's a final result in this game. See if they've finalised the results. See how many Ange Jones kicked. So she had 9 up to Ange Jones. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, possibly 17 goals. Ange Jones, possibly. Now, we have actually called a big... Who did we call that kicked a mozza one day?
Isaac Hughes kicked 10 here.
Yeah.
Was that Anzac? No, it wasn't Anzac Day. It was against...
We were on air when Travis Bates kicked 100 and he kicked 16 up there. We weren't at Rose Point, but we were actually on air and watching, and he got to the century.
And then Isaac Hughes kicked 10 here a few weeks ago.
That was reaching the promised land. But I remember specifically being with you when Travis Bates, the great man from Sigel, the next vice president of the club, ACDC in the background, Kendall Clawson, Lucas James Holmes and David Redden with you. For the first time ever, Lucas, good luck with calling, mate. Cat, very proud of you and looking forward to this very much, mate. Lucas will have the first bounce.
Here we go. And in here, I was talking to you about a few weeks ago about talking with Andrew Walker about the Cardiff ruckman Tim Keys. David, he's been in for a few weeks now. He's on the ball here against Max Quinlan, 2 young bulls going at it.
Max is in the ruck. That's interesting.
Is it Quinlan there?
Oh, absolutely. Good call, no?
Here we go. David passes with the football. Up we go here at Pasterfield Sporting Complex. Give that one to Quinlan. In there is Knight. The ball's been hacked clear. O'Brien, scrubby kick to the outer side. Mark there. Put down, there's Watling. Watling does a dipsy doodle. Couldn't get a high contact call and does. Is that against O'Brien? It was. Goes in board. In almost intercepted play on is Baker. That's Anthony on that long raking left foot. Goes high and long. And there is Blanchfield. Can't get there. Butters up well. Triffett along the ground. Over the back. Is that Crawford? No. Looking for Haswell on the centering ball. Kelleher in front. Marks about 45 metres directly in front of goal, David. Fast start here for Newcastle City.
Indeed. Some good work there at ground level, Lucas. Good start, big man.
Sure did. Thank you. Watling put his head over the ball, getting the warranted free kick. Did the team thing there, and the ball was squared. Here's Kelleher. Slow, deliberate approach. Kelleher, you think he's got the wind behind him. Kelleher on the left foot. It's going to drop short and does. Play on. Trying to clear the ball. Ball's in there. O'Malley gets a one-handed handball out. Pate holding the ball. Against O'Malley to O'Donnell. O'Donnell, another left footer, goes long to the outer side. On the back.
Surely that was
O'Malley.
Unreasonable.
Sorry, Watling. Watling goes in board. It's a crash ball here. O'Brien's in front, doesn't get there. Baker overshot with a handball. Delore goes along the ground to Jobe. Ducks the ball and we'll get a high contact free kick. Warranted. Plays along, goes wide. It's another squaring ball to Vukovic. What does Vukovic do? O'Donnell's running off him, ignores him, goes across to an equally astute player in Tomlinson. Tomlinson goes immediately with a handball. In there, play on, is that Triffett? It is. Gets the ball knocked out. There's Delore, goes wide to Lennon. Lennon on the back flank early, that's interesting. Goes in board to Vukovic, almost dragged without it. Was Triffett, is not paid, and there's a ball up here, centre wing, with 2.25 minutes gone in this first quarter, David.
Thank you, Lucas. Great start there, mate. As noted by Lucas Holmes, Max Quinlan onto the ball. That's an interesting Quinlan and Keys. Over the shoulder given against Quinlan to Keys, who our mate, as Lucas said, our mate Andrew Walker is a good friend of ours at Bar TV. Good bloke too, Andrew Walker. Real good fella, despite being a left footer. Mark taken by Marcus Delure. And if you're watching Jack the Beast, how are you, big boy? Ryan in front. Couldn't quite grab it. Oh, Isaac Hughes is going to kick that with that breeze. Can't quite get it around. First score of the day. Cardiff one behind. Newcastle City yet to score. Lucas Holmes and David Redden with you. Oh, magnificent spot tease. That Connor Haswell. Just can't quite tell from this distance. Now I've got them on the screen. It was Connor. Up towards Triffett. Gets the ball off. Watling. Very familiar sounds of some of those names. Jackson Crawford gets to the ground. Got to get rid of it. Shoulder or holding the ball? Shoulder. Non-controlling umpire. Crawford. Got to come open side. There's a dead pocket, which is where he's kicked it. Trust me, that's a dead pocket. Now that is Haswell. I beg your pardon. Haswell's gone forward. 30-metre handball. Watling. Oh, in trouble. Great one-hand pick up, Mitchell Knight. Second chance. No, that's actually not. Well, that's Selkirk. So he's dropped 2 in a minute. Knight. This is Watling. Good tackle, the Rat, Simon O'Brien. Delua dumps it forward as far as he can. Baker traps it. Rawnsley thumping left footer. Out of there comes Clark. Mitchell Knight under pressure. Gets to ground level, gets it out. Watling. That's over the shoulder. And free kick paid. Sorry, ball up centre of the ground. Lucas Holmes.
Thank you. David Keys. Quinlan's there as well. Body to body. Need to keep that meter till the ball's in the air. They do. Battle. Quinlan could have got one for over the shoulder. He doesn't. Baker goes on with a barrel on his non-preferred right. Trying to trap it there was Blanchfield. In and under, crush ball out. Who's there for Cardiff? They're at the back. Picks it up is Crawford. Can he get rid of the ball? He can't. Play on. O'Malley! Has he kicked it? I think he has, David. Sniping the goal there for Macaulay O'Malley. First goal of the game. Newcastle City 1 straight 6, leading Cardiff 1 point.
Looking for a feature-packed premium SUV for your family? Check out Hunter Haval Maitland and Brian Hilton Haval North Gosford for their range of affordable SUVs. Book your test drive today. Just off the play, one of the Cardiff backmen, when that ball was going through, was asking what had happened. They felt there should have been a holding the ball decision against City there. So, first goal of the game, Newcastle City. They must kick goals down this breeze. It is noticeable enough. Now, I reckon it's a 2 or 3 goal breeze, Louis, personally. Now, is that Sam O'Brien with the football? Thank you. Quinlan, Keys. Keys just with the right hand. Gets the ball back. Another chance for Keys. Dumps it forward. Ball holds up in the air with his breeze. Coming back there was Rawnsley. Smothered. Mark Hughes is in there. Baker's in there. That looks like Marcus Badula playing crash ball was. Patrick Delaney's in there in 11. Ex-Wagga Tiger. Oh, lovely work. Really, really good footwork there from Blanchfield. Average kick. O'Malley works his man out of it. Got a chance. Did good things in rep footy last week, O'Malley, as well. As always, very solid player, dependable, and very flexible. Can play different positions. Lucas Holmes.
David Ball's seen out in front of Tomlinson there on the outer side. Half forward flank from Newcastle City with 6 1/4 minutes gone in this first quarter.
Are you comfortable with that there? You can see you're right?
Yep,
okay.
fairly up tempo already. It would be Simon Macaulay with the throw-in on this outer side. Keys and Kelleher this time. Kelleher left-sided. Keys, however, gets it with a backhander. Follows up for Mortis. Keys gets driven in the ground by Mitchell Knight fairly. Delure's there on the outer side, and the ball's out of bounds there, almost directly from where the throw-in was taking place. We'll have the same again. Kelleher and Keys, 2 young guns. In with the ball comes umpire Macaulay. Keys has front position. Can Kelleher get round? Gets the double hander. Gets scrapped out of there by Cardiff. Ball gets moved forward, probably 25 or 30 metres. Tomlinson playing in front of the ball there, seeing the ball out of bounds on centre wing.
Unusual seeing Tomlinson up this far.
We saw a few stages in the representative game last week. He had a few passages there on the half forward flank.
Well, you pointed out during the rep game that he was actually left as a loose man, and that's dangerous. You cannot let Tomlinson do that. And I bet you South, if he plays next year, they'll pick that up.
Quinlan back into the ruck. Tries to knock it down to O'Malley. Haswell almost fumbles it out at the bottom there. Keys gets a handball out. Sharp one. Gets pushed in the back there. Not paid. Play on. Outer side.
Whistle.
Is that a whistle in the background? There was. Was that for that push possibly paid out of zone?
Is it Vukovic is going to get this kick on the right of screen? Max is on the mark. Is that Matt Vukovic?
It is, yep. So that must have been for that push paid out of zone. Vukovic chips in board. You'd almost think they'd go again. O'Neill's on if they want him. Keith smartly mans him up. What are they going to do? No, another switch is on this time. Campbell, thank you. New number for us. Played there.
And I don't have a 10 on.
That's Davies in 10, the late in.
Yeah,
sorry.
Okay, thank you. That's right.
Davies gets the ball. And it's punched out of bounds there by Liam Dwyer, straight in front of the Cardiff interchange bench. Just forward to centre wing. 8.5 minutes gone in this first quarter.
Thank you, Lucas. Ball up right in front of the Cardiff tent. Arizona Cross, not a happy chappy after the game, Lucas. She's in all sorts of trouble with that knee. Let's hope she's okay. Gretz dragged out of it. The Rat, Simon O'Brien in and under. He does so brilliantly. Ball out of bounds right at the tent. Marcus Delora on the bench at the moment. That's a luxury. Along there with Bo, I think, in 24.
Yep.
And also Xander Cross, brother of Arizona Cross.
Correct. It's interesting to see Bryce Grett start on the bench early as well, David, so he's only just gone out there.
Ducks and Drakes, that is. Baker goes wide to attacking side, and that's almost 50 metres. Now, Connor Haswell is going to be kicking. This is the attacking pocket with this breeze, Lucas. Lace-out delivery from the quality of Sublime Baker. You won't remember a bloke called Leon Baker who played for Essendon in the IDAs, but actually this bloke reminds me a bit of him. Same surname. So trying to kick this, it's almost straight downwind. Haswell from 45.
He's going to come back.
Oh, that's a superb kick, Connor Haswell. Gracious me. Did actually kick that right to left. So Newcastle City 2 straight 12. Cardiff 1 behind. Lucas Holmes.
Belmont 16-footer Sailing Club. Located on the picturesque Lake Macquarie, Belmont 16 is one of the premier venues in the Hunter region, offering the very best in dining, promotions and entertainment. For all the latest news and promotions, visit 16s.com.au or find us on Facebook, the home of AFL Hunter Central Coast.
Damon Chuali is runner after doing central umpiring earlier today, so I can only assume he's going back from injury. Yep. Bit of a luxury.
That's perhaps why Tim Cotter plays Connor Haswell forward of the football in this Newcastle City side as well, David. Dave passes with the ball up. Keys, Quinlan gets it out. Knocked forward there by Triffett. Knocked off the ball by Greats, legally apparently. Dwyer on his non-preferred right. Goes deep into the forward pocket. Tomlinson does the team thing and Shepard's out of the way. Long to this outer side. Quinlan tracks back and takes a mark. Look, goes squaring to the centre and does. There's Anthony Baker. He could almost go. It was raffled between him and his brother as well. Goes further centrally. O'Donoghue to the outer side on his left. Short stabbing 15-20 metre pass. This is the key kick here. He goes long. Does O'Donoghue goes long. It's a raffle of Cardiff players at the back, however. Outer side. Ducks into Zvukovic. Goes over the head. Sniped by O'Malley. Shrugs off a tackle. O'Malley goes for another shot at goal. Smothered. Butters up more to Gretz. Gretz goes to the outer side to Vukovic. And in front there of Hamish Thompson, the ball goes the junction of the 50-metre line and the boundary, David, with 11 and a quarter minutes gone in the first quarter.
Thank you, Lucas. Halfway through, Newcastle City 2 goals. Cardiff yet to score a goal, only the one behind. Keast been quiet early on, ball hasn't come his way. Out of bounds, up high Macaulay. That's Simon. Will throw this one in about 55, 56 metres out from goal. Be a lot of play, Lucas, out on that flank with his breeze. Keast onto the ball with Bo. A funny story to tell viewers about Cam Keast. After a conversation Lucas and I had with him 7 days ago here at Pasterfield. Ball out of bounds. Patrick Delaney.
It was a real pleasure to speak with Cameron Keast actually following that game. Very knowledgeable, intelligent young man. Very
intelligent, very well spoken, and a decent human being. Keast, too strong, goes over the back of his head. Picked up by Gibson. Away it goes. Robson, I think, in 17, yes. And out of bounds over there in front of Ethan Durbridge. City seemingly at the moment reasonably comfortable.
Controlled all their ball movement, therefore controlling the tempo of the game so far, David, early on.
So I spoke to someone who knows a bit about football last week. I won't mention their name because I didn't get permission to speak about it, but this person said he thought that Newcastle City would just have the skills just a bit over the top of Cardiff. Be interesting to see how that all works out. Quinlan and Bo. Max reads that best. Gets the possession there. Handball. Off towards Thompson. Dragged out of it. I thought O'Malley. Nice fin. Tomlinson. Vukovic, who looks like he might have Haswell for the day. Gretz just interfered with it the death, and that meant the kick was ordinary. Batten. Short hands. Dwyer straight down the line. Got the set! Oh, Triffett ran into trouble. That surely was holding the ball, not paid. Gretz. That can't be if they're being consistent. Gracious me. Sorry, Ryan, I disagree with that one. It was a good tackle. He's caught into play on. Dwyer off one step. Haswell and Tomlinson. Too strong Tomlinson. Really good upper body strength there on Connor Haswell, who's no weakling, let me tell you. Patrick Delaney has some space out there. Goes the long ball, holds up in that breeze. Baker. Ian Baker, I'm sorry. Who I imagine is the elder brother. Oh, well done underneath there. Robson, good skills. Marcus, lovely handball to Lure. Isaac, good tackle, just gets him at the death. Got to sit here. Jack Lennon's dangerous here. Jack Lennon is super dangerous. What can he do? Can't get on his right. Oh, over the shoulder, and that'll be a rush behind. Cardiff 2 behinds, Newcastle City 2 straight. Lucas Holmes.
Durbridge comes along to this commentary box side. Finds Thompson, overshoots him by a bit. Gretz is there to corral him. Gets the ball back. Here's Lennon. Can he straighten up on his right? Does. Goes about 25 metres from goal. On the mark, the second attempt. Ryan did very well to body Baker out of the way. It was Rawnsley on that occasion. I think it was Rawnsley, actually. And enough to get it on the second grab.
Very
Michael
strong.
Ryan.
Yeah, very strong mark there for Ryan at the second grab. Keep on it with the Lewis.
Ryan, no more than 20 metres out from goal, almost directly in front. Slow, methodical approach. Goal kicker is Michael Ryan. Punches it towards goal, and he gets it. Cardiff with their first goal of the day. Newcastle City 2 goals straight. 12 leading Cardiff 1 goal 2-8 after 15 minutes.
ISC have been at the cutting edge of designing and manufacturing apparel from grassroots to elite sporting teams for over 20 years and are proud to be the preferred apparel supplier of the Hunter Central Coast AFL for the 2019 season.
They sure are, David. And we thank all of our valued sponsors that we have, AFL Hunter Central Coast.
So, and onto the ball goes O'Neill, Delaney, Delure and Bow. O'Neill goes to defensive quarterback. Marcus Delure right next to his ruckman and Patrick Delaney to attack. Up against Kelleher is Bow. Kelleher, lovely right-hander down, tries to find Baker, misses him. It's picked up the crumbs by Marcus Delure. Gets it forward. Bow coming forward and picked off beautifully by Durbridge. He must, for mine, have been a bit unlucky not to make the rep side. Oh, he's a very good player. Counter Haswell tries a mark there. Can't pick it up. Hughes thumps it forward to the hot spot. Marking contest again. Good punch at the back there. Second tap comes out. Bow with Durbridge. Durbridge ducks his head. Jack Lennon. Grant Job's in there loitering as well, and umpire said, I'll have that, thank you.
So that's an interesting one, David. Michael Ryan's just gone off for a rest, and Keys has replaced him. So I don't know what they'll do with a key forward situation. If Bow will go forward, and then Keys will go straight into the ruck, or will Keys go forward? He's gone straight to the ball, has Keys, though, however, so we'll see how that eventuates.
Delure dragged out of it. Out of there comes Rawnsley. Scrubby kick, but it gets it to the 50. Short handball, Baker. Perfect handball out there, Kelleher, who's left-sided. Shanks that somewhat. That's dangerous play. Clark. Tapped forward by Anthony Baker. Dwyer. Drags him out of it, I thought. Thumps it forward on the left. Should be a mark. And is picked up by Ian Baker comfortably. Immediately comes wide. Here's the voice of Thompson. Handball over. Selkirk. Oh, brilliant smother. They're up.
It's out on the full, David, so it must have been below the knee. Or on the knee.
Oh, wow, okay. I thought it was brilliantly... Yeah. Okay, the good call, Lucas Holmes. I was watching the smother. It was brilliant. But just gets a bit of bad luck there. Haswell with a kick here. Driving low ball. That should be a free kick. Not paid against Watling. Haswell, a mark. Lucas Holmes.
Thank you, David. Haswell immediately goes on that left to the corridor. There's Thompson, goes back door. Baker. Baker with that long raking left foot finds Quinlan on the edge of the square, and that'll be 50 metres, David, will it? No. Got out of the protected area just in time. Tomlinson on the mark, just inside forward 50. Sam O'Brien puts him back on his correct line. It's going to be it. But as you said, the attacking side of this for this win, David, so Quinlan should have the distance. Quinlan gets it up there, hangs out to the left side, trying to kill the ball. Is sniping there is Crawford. Back to this outer side is Davies. Goes short into the flank for Tomlinson. Do you think Tomlinson? No, he goes short inside that 45 to O'Brien. O'Brien immediately plays on, cascades to the outer side of the ground. Is that Delore? It is. Delore with that gate. One bounce, two bounce Delore. Goes long to the outer side again. There's a Lennon playing one-on-one. That's where he's most dangerous, Lennon. But the ball's escorted on the outer side there. Half forward flank for Cardiff. Out of bounds with 19 minutes gone in this first quarter, David.
Thank you, Lucas. Settling into their play, aren't they? It's just, you can feel it warming. Just the 4 points the difference. Two of the premium sides in our league. Again, I'm stunned to see Damon Chuali being a runner. I just don't understand why he must be injured. Too good a player to be not on the playing, I would have thought. Although he does affect their point structure, that he does. Baker, Anthony. Long ball with his right foot. Long ball. Tomlinson picks. Tomlinson they've got to make him accountable.
It would be fairly hard to fit Damon Twelly in that back line at the moment, though, David.
I would have thought he's more a centre-half forward, but probably not needed in the structure at the moment. Tomlinson is in trouble. Not strong enough. Watling needed to make a better effort than that, with respect. Job, who seems like a very nice young man off the field, I must admit. Sounds a lovely bloke to me. Very polite. Blanchfield, right-hand handball. O'Malley. The old firm there. Down towards Joe O'Donoghue. Beautiful left foot centres play to Stephen Batten. Baker wants a short handball, can't get it. In front, taken by Watling. Now Baker gets a football. He might wind up and have a crack, Baker! Oh, superb! Absolutely superb. Keeps on running. Newcastle City, 3 straight 18. Cardiff 1-2-8. Lucas Holmes.
Awards Are Us. Established over 25 years ago, Awards Are Us pride themselves on an ability to supply high-quality work and personal professional service. David and Lisa are experienced in fulfilling the most complex of needs for their clients. Special deals are available for all AFL Hunter Central Coast clubs. Going to Anthony Baker.
I've got a message here. I'm just trying to find out what's. I'll have to go and check those scores. I can't read the message, so I have a message on that Terrigal West Wallsend game. So I might go and check something at quarter time, Louis. 21 minutes gone. Lucas Holmes.
Parsons back to the middle. There's Bow. Kelleher comes over the top. However, that scrubby kick. As that Thompson on his right, it is. Thompson goes immediately to this outer side. Who's there? Selkirk's there. Good shepherd at the back from Crawford. Knock there. Goes to ground. However, Haswell keeps his feet. Haswell goes for that centering ball to Keast. And that ball is going to hit the behind post. So we'll have a boundary throwing deep inside forward 50 for Newcastle City with 21 and a half minutes gone in this first quarter.
Hasn't been real good service to Keast so far. They've sort of gone in and around him a bit.
I was saying earlier, attacking this near side, David, so he hasn't really had the opportunity as Keast. And it looks like O'Donnell's got the match-up on him, which is a very interesting one.
Keast and Bow pushes out from Keast, I thought, straight pushing the back. The rat, Simon O'Brien, gets it at the second attempt. Vukovic, very fast hands. Ends up to Clark, who doesn't get tackled and as a result gets a disposal. Durbridge will go straight down the spine. You've got to understand football, understand how good that was. Keast in front, Durbridge a 55-metre bullet pass. Lucas Holmes, take us through that goal. Oh.
Cam must have heard us, David, from afar. Did the right thing for a forward, playing in front, good solid lead, and he'll go back and kick from no more than 35 metres straight in front of goal. Cam Keast. Lambers in, and he puts it through. A goal for the big man. Newcastle City stretch the lead even further. 4 straight, 24, leading Cardiff 1-2-8.
The Central Coast #1 station for old hits and old school is 101.3 CFM. Wake up with Gaundy and Ash Polo for breakfast, full of pranks, real talk and passion for the community and the local initiatives. Start your day with Gaundy and Ash Polo from 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. weekdays. That's CFM 101.3 on the beautiful Central Coast. Lucas, that was just... Oh, goodness me. That was superb.
It sure was, David. Durbridge had no hesitation taking off immediately and hitting Cam Keith's lace out. Give that one to Kelleher again. O'Brien's there, gets the ball out the back. O'Brien sweeps around on his right side. Who's that on the far side? That's Hawthorn. Hawthorn gets a right-handed handball. Hawthorn goes along the line to Delaney. Jinks once, jinks twice. Goes back to... No, it wasn't Hawthorn that time, beg your pardon. He goes out of bounds there. In front of Hawthorn, centre wing. in front of umpires coach there, Christine Burrows on the far side.
Got herself a nice little spot right in the middle.
In the sun.
Yes. I don't like the sun in my face. I wouldn't be sitting there. I'd have shade. I've just been too many years at cricket, Louis, and I love my shade. Ball comes out here, straight down that outer flank, and it's going to stay in front of Watling, who's being harassed by Davies, the late in for Jack Pratt. Now, Jack Pratt has had a bad quad and cork for weeks now, and it's bad, and that's why he missed rep footy. So, obviously couldn't come up to scratch. They miss him. Even in these early doors, Newcastle City to me look comfortable, but remember they are kicking with the breeze. Keys, Kelleher in front, Delaney off the ground, Luxor Fortune kicks some of that to Isaac Hughes. He's got the ball right on centre wing. Dumps the ball forward, long kick. Right in front, couldn't grab this one. Jobe, can't put a tackle on. Crawford right at the back. Oh, good mark. Who's that under there? Well done, Joe. That's a very good contested mark. In front of Lennon, I think. Blanchfield. No, it's Thompson this time, David. Dumps the ball forward, and I mean dumps it. What a kick, Max Quinlan. Looking for play. They're just moving so well at the moment. Look very Keast in front. Good contest, really, and that's quarter time. So at quarter time, Newcastle City 4 straight 24. Cardiff 1-2-8. Bit of argy-bargy at the end of the quarter. We'll be back with you shortly, along with the second quarter. I had a terrific conversation with Cameron Keese at the end of last week's representative football. For 3 years, I've been saying that Cam Keese is a doctor, as in MBBS, medical doctor, because I was giving information that he was. Well, Cam Keese had a bit of a joke with us, and he did it in a classy way, and said, oh, actually, I'm a chemical engineer. He's done his undergraduate. From my memory, Lucas Holmes, he did a double degree, chemical engineering and business at Newcastle University, and then went and did a master's of chemical engineering. So if anyone's out there, I do apologise, Cam, and all his family. Cameron Keese is a chemical engineer, not a medical doctor, and I won't make that mistake again. He actually handled it with class, didn't he?
It's good to. We were speaking about it a few at the representative game last week. I actually haven't had the chance to speak with Cameron Keese before, and as we've touched on before, very intelligent, knowledgeable young man. And very good footballer, David. As we saw in glimpses in that last part of the first quarter. And the end of a spearing ball from Ethan Durbridge.
And now, if you keep up this broadcasting standard, you realise I'll be sacked. You did a very good job, sir. I know you get embarrassed easily, but superb job in the first quarter, sir. Just keep it up.
Thank you.
I'll be out of a job very quickly, I tell you. Doing a very good job, the young man, but he's been doing this commentary cape for a while. What were you, 16 or 17 when you started, big man?
This is our 4th year, is it not? So I'm giving my age. I am 21, so I would be 17 years of age. Which is
still playing cricket with Redhead at that stage, weren't you?
I was. Fellow Collingwood supporter last night to watch the game, David, so it was good to catch up with one of my good mates, Bailey Cooper, so it was good to... It was a tense one last night, to be fair, David.
He's got this awful Collingwood hat he's got on the table here, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I'm not wearing my Giants hat, but I might have to do it next week. Righto, rock and roll time, quarter number 2. Cardiff now get the breeze, and they're 16 points down. Away we go. Keys, this impressive young fella, gets a hard football in the ruck. Dragged out of it, I reckon. Free kick, Cardiff. Just back to the left of the screen. There we are.
Is it
O'Neill?
No, O'Neill.
Cartoon legs. Leading player was Lennon, just dragged out of it at the last second. Thompson. Brilliant no-look handball, Durbridge. Over there to Mitchell Knight. Durbridge again. Left football's very clever to Watling, and they've cleared the lines now. Just a precision machine at the moment. Newcastle said, gee, they look good. Haswell. Keist in front, very hard to stop. Well done by O'Donnell. That was Edwards, I reckon. Yeah, he's a good young player, Edwards. Not real fashionable, does a good job. Hawthorne in 56. Over there to Lennon, and out of bounds on centre wing. Lucas Holmes.
That's what you normally get with Jack Pratt, that sort of lockdown, sort of small mid attacking role. Pratt, of course, being a defender, so get some of that backing in Edwards. It's out of sight here. Keys and Quinlan. Keys gets front position and therefore gets a tap. Spins, does Dwyer. Gets the ball out. In fact, that was Dwyer, beg my pardon. That was Dwyer, goes long down the line to Blanchfield. Blanchfield goes along one wider to Haswell. Haswell tries to squares the ball up to Keast. Gets the ball down to ground. Gets shoved off the ball there to Tomlinson. Tries to rip the ball back. Tries to hold it in. O'Donnell gets a quick hack left foot ball out to Robson. In fact, there's Dwyer. Dwyer looks to go around the outside. Calls there for a over-the-shoulder free kick from David Redden, but no, the ball goes out of bounds in front of the half-forward flank there. They're attacking into Newcastle City after 2 minutes in this second quarter, David.
Thank you. Quinlan and Keys. Quinlan, double-hander. Blanchfield. In and under, very hard mark. No, that's Keys, and that's Robson on the left. First saw him in the plate earlier this year. Thought he was impressive, and he's handling that step up in class quite well, Lucas.
Is that Anzac Day fixture here? All 3 grades against Warners Bay from memory, David. The day that in question.
Big crowd, massive crowd that day. Isaac King in there in 11. Thumped out of there by Isaac Hughes. That's gone 65. That's gone 75 metres now with that breeze. Under pressure, City. Jobe from 40. Just to the side. Very skillful man, Brant Jobe. Don't you worry about that. Newcastle City 4 straight 24. Cardiff 139. I'll load up these scores for everybody so I can come back to them when we get a quick break.
Durbridge with a kick out goes long to this commentary box side. Looking for Watling. Watling can't get hands to the ball and off the boot, but not on the full. We're throwing about 70 metres around from goal. Cardiff's attacking end.
Kelowna up by 21 over the Chooks. Nelson Bay and Wyong, 1 point the difference in front of Wyong. Maitland going well in the first quarter, 3 points down to Warners Bay. Terrigal up by 14 over Gosford at Hilton Moore Oval. That's the update.
Keys gets an inside tap to Delore. Delore gets a hat kick inside forward 50. Can they keep it in there? There's Robson, gets to pull down after disposal. Ryan comes flying in to try and put to Shepherd on. Hughes gets a handball out, back door. Clark goes long inside forward 50. They've got a 2-on-1 Newcastle City. They should work this out. However, Lennon kicks his feet. Lennon snaps around the corner. Marked by Jobe on the line. Immediately plays on. Gets Cardiff's second goal. Cardiff 2 goals, 3-15. Trailing Newcastle City 4 goals straight, 24.
Central Coast Physiotherapy Sports and Spinal Centre is helping keep AFL Hunter Central Coast footballers on the field all season long. As well as providing the best in injury treatment and rehabilitation, they can also supply all of your tape and trainer needs at the best price guaranteed. Well done there, Brant Jobe. The extra man created a couple of crash balls. Lucas Holmes is sitting there with all of his female devotees behind us. Yeah, they ignore me. They just go to the great man.
No, that was Shuri Vukovic coming through and just reminding me of the result from last night, David. So and there's a whistle.
Down here by a boundary umpire, and it looks like the old traditional centre square infraction. And is. So that's on into the box, Lucas, not in the arc.
And Keys looks like he's hobbling, favouring a knee. That's why he immediately handballed the ball off and is coming straight to the interchange bench by the looks of it, David. No.
Very well tackled there. The Rat O'Brien at full flight. Hughes off to the side, out of bounds to the full, and will be a free kick to Durbridge. Shuri Vukovic, a Collingwood supporter.
She is.
Oh, no. Oh, she's one of my faves too. And she goes to the black and white mob. I'll have to fix that. Connor Haswell's superb, by the way. He's skill above his head. He's one of the best one grab marks in the competition, in my mind. He's actually capable of winning multiple league best and fairest, Connor Haswell's. Considering his age. That should be it. No, it stays in. Hughes tries to put a step on. Good tackle.
Oh, that was a bit of a
it was a bit dangerous.
Goes.
Oh, you're joking.
Is that what they've paid?
He's paid a free kick holding the ball.
Oh, okay.
Honestly, where's that come from? I do not know. Out towards Dwyer. Gillian, get him get a haircut, surely. That's a shocking kick. O'Brien wamboozled by an awful bounce. Coming flying through his own mallee. Was there a trip?
Yeah, to Tomlinson. Is it to Tomlinson?
No, the Rat, I reckon.
O'Brien.
Oh, you're right. It was Tomlinson. Lucas Haynes is giving himself a high five over here. Campbell on that left foot. Reminds me a bit of Pratt, actually. Lennon's got space. Danger, danger, danger. Misses.
Nearly missed it all.
He actually went check side with that too. So he must have had his body at a funny angle there, Louis. Newcastle City 4 straight. Cardiff have had more shots. 2-4-16, 6 3/4 minutes into the second quarter. Lucas.
Thank you, Durbridge. Haswell's on short. He goes in that direction, but it's Kelleher. He doesn't keep it in. He does on his favourite left side. There's Mitch Knight. Buffers off the ball. Vukovic comes in there, steaming hard. Oh, there's a big heavy contact there. Blanchfield comes off second best and stays down. There's high contact there.
He's concussed.
Yeah,
he's not in a good way.
This game should be stopped.
That game, he is not in a good way at all.
Stop it, Ryan. Yeah, good call. Good call. It was a very heavy contest there. You could see it coming. It was a crush ball.
Chihuali's actually done a good job out here. He's gone straight out. He let them know he was in a bad way. He needs an HIA because that's a head clash.
It was a very heavy contact.
He doesn't know where Lucas. He does not know where he is. He needs a doctor. Yeah, just concerned for his well-being.
And they're calling a stretcher, are they?
They can't be.
No, what was Ryan? Ryan was waving. I don't know why, but no, they're not.
He's just got that in the back of the head. They need to give him an assessment. He might not
right
be
side of his head.
Yeah, Blanchfield there, very brave. And I actually like the way that's been treated. They've done everything right. Chuali deserves credit on my mind. He was straight out there and actually was forceful and said, no, stop.
Yeah. Well, and they had to anyway, because for the free kick, Clark had to walk, when he walked back, had to step over Blanchfield as it was. So it was going to be stopped either way. But
Good call, Lucas.
As you said, Tuali deserves credit. And on we go. Clark with the free kick. Hangs it out to the right side. Is it going to come back? No, it's been punched. It's been kept in. There's Quinlan. There's Durbridge. Goes back to Knight. Gets immediately swarmed by Clark, and the ball goes out of bounds.
Mitchell Knight went through hard, and Mick Ryan's in there. There you go, Archie Bargy. It's good stuff. Keep going.
Goes the old firm in that contest.
No love lost.
Oh,
third man in. Anthony Baker went third man in, and they've missed it. Gracious. That's interesting. There was no bounce. Away goes City. Whiteling. Trouble. They can just feel this game. Cardiff are really starting to get an imprint on it right now. Patrick Delaney with his left goes out of side. Selkirk just beats him for pace. Away he goes. One bounce. Two bounces. Average. Drives it forward over Keys, which isn't wise. Coming is Crawford. Crawford's capable of kicking that. You wouldn't believe it, he hasn't. Down there from Campbell.
No, Campbell, rather, sorry.
Oh, lovely hands, Clark. No, Vukovic, I'm sorry. Off towards the Rat O'Brien. There's the smother from Gretz as a cracker on his left. Ordinary kick to Ryan. And that is Rawnsley. And this is Lucas Holmes.
Thank you, David. As you said, David, the heat and intensity of this matchup, as you'd expect, has gone up a notch or two in the last 2 or 3 minutes. Crowd really in on this game, as you'd expect. Two powerhouses, two traditional rivals of our league. Great to see.
Rivals for 51 years, Lucas.
Ball comes in. Keys gets the ball in board, looking for O'Brien. Can't quite get there. Ball's hacked out, 1-on-1. Gets a handball out. There's Gretz. 2-on-1. Batten with the tackle mainly. And Quinlan, is that underneath that all? That wasn't. Excuse me. And there's Kelleher and Keys once again. Need to keep that made until the ball's in the air, gentlemen. That's what umpire Stanton's reinforcing. Gets the hand in, does Kelleher, or they'll lose it out on his tap. Crawford's very good below his knees. Picks the ball up. Had three around him, swarmed. Tomlinson's alone on this ball. As he said, keeping Tomlinson at the loose at the back is very, very dangerous. Goes long to this outer side. Thompson is leading this race. Gets the ball, keeps it out in front. Job's there, decides to ignore him. Goes inboard. There's Baker. Ian, what can he do on his non-preferred side? Gets the ball in front of Batten. Thompson's there if he wants it. Batten just chips the ball ahead. There's O'Malley. Goes ahead to Baker. Anthony this time on his right. Baker centers this ball. Who's at the back? Isolated goes immediately. It does O'Donnell. Goes to Gretz. Gretz goes back to this side on his left. Gets the ball just over the top. Good kick in the end. There's a handball on if he decides to use it. There's Delore. There's one bounce from Delore. Not second. Looks for Ryan. No, for Job rather. Job keeps his feet to try and get the ball over the back. He can't. Nice. McDonald rather. Very chipping kick. Who's there? Baker does very well. The pirouette move. Gets his hands above the ball to get the ball out. There's McDonald again on his right, looking for the outer side. There is an injured player there, David, in the hands of trainers. I'll keep an eye on that if you like.
Okay, thank you. Over there, Mark, taken by Gibson. Is there a stoppage of play?
There's a blood rule. That's what there is.
There's a cut, is there? Okay, so let's have a look. Ian Baker or Durbridge? Ian Baker, I reckon. Oh, it's bad too. Right side of the head. And it's come around, it's all over his face. That will possibly need stitching, but he may end up coming back looking a bit like Hannibal Lecter here, Lucas.
He can go straight on, but Sweetenham has not gone through the gate there, actually.
Correct.
Sweetenham's has come on, not gone through the interchange gate.
And Ryan Stanton picked us up about that last week when we picked up when Morgan Ross was carried off, taken off for technically illegally. She doesn't matter. And I said, under the rules of football it doesn't. And the rules of football it does. Halfway through this quarter, Delaney on a lead. Onto his left. Straight down the outer flank. Well done. Marcus Deleuze starting to get his hands on the football. How's the delivery from the great man? Thumping long ball. Jack Lennon gets the hands free. Robson. Oh, he's
got it.
Kicked out, I think.
He's kicked it.
I'm sure that's Robson.
There's a cross. No, it's Xander Cross.
Xander Cross. That's a cracking goal on a snap. So Xander Cross a goal. And the score is Cardiff 3-4-22. Right back in this game. And they have been for the last 10 minutes. Newcastle City 4 straight 24.
This ball gets delivered back to the middle. Umpire Sam O'Brien, younger brother of Joseph, it is. And doing well in the NEFL at the moment is Joey. Good to see him supporting our local league. And Brian, is Kelleher in there. Bow for Cardiff. Kelleher gets that one, actually goes over the top of Bow, which is hard to do. Delaney's in the middle now, swallowing the ball. No, it was Dwyer that time. Gets one to out of side. Crawford lowers his eyes, tries to go forward 50. Tomlinson's there. O'Malley leads the race, bumped out of the way by Gibson. Tomlinson takes a few on, gets a handball out. Sweeping ball inside to Vukovic. Vukovic goes long down the line. Who's there? Durbridge leads the race. He'll try and turn onto his natural left, but can't. And just forward to centre wing, we'll have a boundary throw in with 14 and a half minutes gone in this second quarter, David. Have you spotted something, sir?
No, I'm just trying to see where they're working on Baker, but I can't see him. He might have gone underneath. Perhaps get some work done.
You can see also there, Blanchfield is sitting on the bench as well.
He's okay. Learned some lessons at a recent tribunal hearing about concussions, my friend. AFL's perfectly serious about them. Hughes. Out there from Silver.
Taken high late.
Yes.
And that's what the free kicks. They paid a free kick, or has it gone out of bounds?
Sure, it's a free kick coming at Selkirk, as picked up by your good self. Out there at half-back flank. City have kicked no goals this quarter, and that breeze is as mild as it's been all day, really. Almost non-existent now. Durbridge.
Ryan had to get out of that protected zone and did just.
Crawford dragged out of it, I thought. Davies gets it out to Vukovic. Out here towards Campbell. Goes and he's left the delivery. It was perfect to Joe. Brandt was entitled to take that. McDonald. Handballed off there. Under pressure City, but trying to cope as best they can. Watling. A barrel. Long ball. Well done by Triffett. Made a contest with Tomlinson, which is what you're going to do. Edwards. And give a credit there to Triffett, Lucas Holmes. Made a big contest, as you've been talking about with Nick Tomlinson. Lucas?
Did very well. O'Brien throws the ball up. Kelleher and Bow again. Kelleher gets a double-handed one down. Baker goes on a right and gets kicked right at the point of the football. Mark there, Gibson. Gibson rolls around on his right, goes back onto his left. Little stabbing kick. Gibson overshoots there. Campbell. Haswell's there, tries to get the ball out. Hit and spin move there. Well played. Tomlinson's there. He won't lose out. He doesn't. Gets a handball back to O'Donnell. O'Donnell goes long on his left side. Robson's there in a foot race. That's a good one with Dwyer. Can he keep up? Dwyer burns him. Gets the extra number inside to Watling. Had a mental blank there, sorry. Watling gets lace out to Haswell. Haswell immediately plays on, goes to the hot spot. Has to play defensive forward there, did Quinlan. Did he drag that ball in? He's asking the question.
Lucas, that's a very good question. Ryan Stanton in good position.
Yep. It was a good question.
My word.
Stanton answered with no. Quinlan and Bow this time. Quinlan won't try and go the body, but Bow will, and immediately goes into the side of Quinlan. Where's the ball? It was one-handed out there by Bow. Almost could be paid. Vukovic is there. Clark goes in and under. Gets tackled immediately. Gets a side kick out there. And clearing just Vukovic. Kelleher's there. Oh, great tackle. Not stuck. So should be play on, and it is. Well done. Well umpired. Cross goes one-on-one. Job's out the back. Can he get the bounce of the ball? Brant Job. Not quite. Very well defensively. Oh, and that's a bit nasty as well, but no. No. That's McDonald in 21, does very well to shepherd the ball through, and can under pressure inside the 9 metre zone. It's back to a point, David. Newcastle City, 4 straight. Cardiff 3 goals 5 after almost 18 minutes gone in the second quarter.
Rawnsley off to Selkirk as the Breeze pops its head up again. Durbridge will go long and direct. Haswell in front. Ethan Durbridge is a good deliverer of the football. Haswell's got someone on the lead here in front. Very good defence. Clark in there. Should be a handball coming out. Sweetnam sniping. He's kicked a few last week. This time against superior opposition, gets tackled. O'Donnell comes forward, gets a attempted barrel, but picked up by... That's 50. That is 50 metres, and he knew it. And Bregan Bowe just had one of those moments you want to forget.
Well, he's caught in no man's land there, to be fair, but still you have to try and evade the 10-metre area, and couldn't.
He didn't.
Exactly. Almost ran in rather than trying to get out. But 50-metre free kick to Baker, David.
In this Breeze, Baker will go low. And that's a very, very, very important goal against the Breeze. Anthony Baker kicks his second goal of the day. And Newcastle City 5 straight 30s, settling just a bit. Cardiff 3, 5-23. Lucas?
Bar TV Sports, the specialist in live streaming and broadcasting of local sport, including AFL Hunter Central Coast. Bar TV Sports, making your game the main game.
Enjoying doing the commentary?
Very much so, David. It's
doing an excellent job.
Thank you, David. It's great to have the opportunities. Vukovic very smartly has to run very quickly to get back into the back 50 there to avoid a warning.
Yes, I don't think there's been a warning yet.
No, there hasn't. You can just see Vukovic running with purpose to get into the back 50.
Again, our friend Michael Smith made an interesting point about that recently when we bumped into him at football. I'll tell you about it later.
Okay. Maybe a topic for Conversation Corner later on.
Bowe, Kelleher, that's Mac O'Malley. Tries to beat 3 or 4, couldn't beat Gretz. Baker, short stabbing ball is perfect. O'Donoghue. Oh, Marcus has gone too close to him. Cameron perhaps falls short and slices out off the right. Where are the Rovers? City getting beaten a bit at ground level here. Sweetnam might help that caper. Haswell, has he got time to shoot? Oh, off the left foot, 2 steps against the Breeze. If you don't mind, Connor Haswell take a bow. That's his second. Newcastle City really settling. 6 straight 36. Cardiff 3-5-23. Lucas and Ed Reed and take control, please.
Subway Morisset. Subway Morisset is open 7 days a week. Breakfast, lunch and dinner. Trading hours 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. Support local businesses. Subway. Eat fresh. Indeed, we have to award a Subway Morisset player of the match for the women's game at halftime as well, David.
For mine, it's McDonald or Simpson.
Yeah, that's what I was. Yeah, Holcomb played a good part, but those two were standouts in the end.
Zona was in
there.
There's a whistle. This should be a free kick if it's against Cardiff. They've had their warning. Hugh Kelleher with a free kick. Sorry, Lou, you go. I'm sure that's so they're done. So they're into the bonus. Away you go.
Exactly what it's for. Anthony Baker, long, high right boot to the outer side. Bounces up perfectly for Dwyer. Stabbing kick in front. No, Triffett can't take the mark. Haswell gets a scrubby handball out. Tomlinson goes, I've had enough of this, and gets a barrel to the centre of the ground. Gets a nice bounce as well. That's gone 60, 65 metres. Can Cardiff run on? They can. Job goes inside, does a 360 pirouette, gets a handball out. Almost too much in the end. Gets a hands swung around once. Durbridge is there to intercept the play. Delore steaming out of the stoppage. Goes for goal as Delore misses to the near side. Another point for Cardiff. 3 goals, 6-24, leading Newcastle City 6 straight, 36.
They may pay for missing so many shots at goal this quarter, Lucas Holmes.
Well, and City haven't had the most inside forward 50, but they're 6 goals straight, David. Yet to kick it behind or have one rushed almost at half time is a decent achievement. And that almost dragged out of the play there, not paid. O'Malley goes back with a left-hand handball. They will look for another one. They don't. That was Durbridge that time. Goes long and high to the outer side. Smothered by Gretz. And over top was King. Gets that ball out of bounds to centre wing. Almost only be about 2.5 minutes to go in this quarter when the ball's been thrown in by umpire Miles McCauley, David.
I think I better head to Centrelink on Monday and put in for a job as a commentator somewhere else. Our friends from the South Coast are after some coverage. I might have to head down there. You're doing a great job, big fella.
Thanks, mate.
Okay, Kelleher and Keys. Baker's got to stay out of it. Does. He was pinged. He should have been pinged for third man in earlier and wasn't. O'Malley tapped along by Sweetnam, who kicked 6 if I'm right last week against. Anyway, he kicked 6.
Was that in the plate last
no,
week?
It was in
no,
the cup.
so the
It was
week
in the cup.
so the week before.
Yeah, it was in the cup in the last time. Warners Bay up by 14, Terrigal Local by 47, Nelson Bay by 3, Killarney Vale by 58.
And on that point, David, Hawthorn up by 23 and North Melbourne up by 2 straight kicks at Marvel.
That's at York Park in Launceston, the Hawthorn Port Adelaide.
It is, yes. At half time.
15 points and a half of football. You wonder if the weather's dicey down at Launceston. It was rain at the end of the week in Tasmania. So
Scott Lysette was a laid out as well, key out as well.
that hurts.
And McAvoy actually, so the 2 first choice ruckmen not for either team not being present down there.
Well done, Kelleher. Gretz over the shoulder, I think, to Bryce Gretz. Played good footy last week, did Bryce Gretz. Lennon dropped what he otherwise might have taken. Selkirk, Delure, strong body play, great hands. Jack Lennon, Ryan, with Rawnsley for company.
Ooh, that was a bit high
that
and
was
crude.
rough. And he grabs him, and it's all over and done and dusted.
Yeah.
And now, what's the ump? Oh, they're saying it's out on the 4 off Ryan, beneath his knees, Lucas Holmes.
Yep.
I just saw the corner of that out of the corner of the screen. Well done, Kendall. Thank you. Durbridge gets the ball. That's a great kick against the wind. Good marquees. Yeah, I'm impressed with this bloke. If they've developed him, he's done well, and he looks fit and looks like he can run to me.
And they needed that ruckman as well, David. Yes, he's still got Bo there, but you lose Andrew Walker and Tommy Etch in the off season as well. They needed another key tall to play to swap out and almost resting forward as well, while Bo's having a rest.
Of course, our mate Andrew Walker's working on Saturdays at the moment,
yes.
So that's why he can't play.
Yep.
Again, if you ever get a chance to have a chat with Andrew Walker, terrific bloke, just one of life's good fellas. Yeah, push
Straight
the
in
back.
the back.
Yeah, again, 2 Tomlinson against Haswell. It's a luxury when Connor Haswell can play forward.
It is.
Almost half time. We'll have a 5-minute break, and then Lucas and I will come back and talk AFL HCC, where we think the season's going to end. Hughes hasn't been overly good today. Puts the pressure on. They put pressure on him, just gets rid of it. Siren is imminent. Dwight goes to quarterback. Batten goes forward with a handball. Over to Selkirk. Ordinary bounce. Sweetenham swooping. SWSW. I'm impressed with that. Now in front, Max. Gets the ball. They've got to kick this goal now. If they Crawford off to Sweetenham. Finish it, son. That is such good football, Newcastle City. No wonder their crowds are applauding. Very, very good running football. A lovely goal, Brady Sweetenham. Newcastle City 7 straight 42. Cardiff 3-6-24. Lucas Holmes. Tyre
Power are proud partners of the NCCUA and community AFL umpires across New South Wales and ACT. Right now and exclusively at Tyre Power, buy 3 and get 1 free on select Toyo passenger and SUV tyres, David.
Oh, wow. Running football at its very best there.
Started by Sweetenham and finished by Sweetenham.
With a lovely little around the corner snap. So 18 points of difference now, and you wonder if Cardiff are going to rue their profligate shooting this quarter. They've kicked 2 goals, but Newcastle City have kicked 3 against the Breeze. Kelleher, Keys wins that one clearly. O'Malley glides through traffic. Selkirk deliberately tried to make that short. Robson, Sweetenham, yuckily not to give away 50. Delaney, no, there's Delaney now. There's now the play on. The siren's imminent. That ball counts. That doesn't, unlike the previous quarter. So, at halftime, Cardiff 3-6-24, Newcastle City 7 straight 42. Lucas Holmes and I will be back with you in about 5 minutes' time and have a chat all things AFL, HCC.
That's half time at first grade. Cardiff 4-5, 29, City 7, 42.
Welcome back to the Pastorsville Complex for a Conversation Corner. And Pastorsville Complex at Cameron Park, I should say. For Conversation Corner with Lucas James Holmes, I'm David Redden. On to the AFL HCC. The ladder as it stands in the Black Diamond Cup before plays finish today. I actually think that's going to be the final 6. I reckon there's a very, very good chance City, Cardiff, Terrigal, Avoca, Warners Bay, Kelowna, and Gosford. And I'll go further. I reckon it could finish in that order. I reckon there's a really good chance.
Ooh, in that order's an interesting. In that order's an interesting one.
Yeah. The only thing that's going to change is these two.
Yep.
But I actually think it's going to end up. So the way the ladder looks at right now, before the finish of play today, is City, Cardiff, Terrigal, Avoca, Warners Bay, Kelowna, and Gosford. And that would, interestingly, on semi-final weekend, give us Terrigal, Avoca and Gosford, which you'd imagine would be played at Adelaide Street, and Warners Bay and Kelowna. That's the way the finals would be. That's a massive 4 and 5, and you need to finish 4 or 5, because in this league at the moment, the dominant forces are City, Cardiff and Terrigal, Avoca.
Yep.
That's actually last year's Final 4 and prelim final weekend. It didn't finish in that order.
No.
Newcastle City played Cardiff and touched them up.
Yep.
And Terrigal, Avoca
overpowered
Warners Bay, who were right in it until 5 minutes into the third quarter.
Was that at Adelaide Street? Yeah, it was, yep.
But I just think in the Cup, I don't think Maitland and Nelson Bay will make the finals. Wine Lakes just aren't playing convincing enough footy. Singleton just can't play away from home. And I think that's a very good chance at the way the ladder will finish. And that, as I said, so City and Cardiff get a week off. Interestingly, one of them would have to play a preliminary final away, if that's the way the structure goes.
Yep.
Is that there's normally a preliminary final held at Adelaide Street and one somewhere in Newcastle. But
yep.
Anyway, that's not for me to decide. Now, the plate. Over to the plate. And after today, there is some unevenness in this draw because Muswellbrook and Wallsend West Newcastle have a postponed game that I'm not sure is going to be played.
Yep.
Which will end up as a draw. There's buys and there's actually games being played today. But the ladder right now is City, Terrigal, Avoca, the entrance Batto Bay, Lake Macquarie, Cardiff, and Warners Bay.
So I'm going to go out on a real limb here and say that top 2 is locked away already.
Yeah. I can see that being the grand final, to be quite honest. To be brought
yeah.
Up. Now, this is where it gets interesting in here.
Yep.
What I'm saying, I'm circling even from 3 to 8 is really interesting. Don't think Wine Lakes, Maitland, Wallsend, West Newcastle, and Singleton will make it. But then it gets, or Gosford. But it gets really interesting with Lake, Cardiff, Warners Bay, Muswellbrook, Kelowna. I know for a fact that Jimmy Newburn thinks that they're a real good show of making the 6. Okay?
Well, and you think they would be from previous year's performances as well?
If Corey Shackleton plays reserve grade most of the rest of the season, like we saw him play at Wine Lakes, it makes a big difference.
Well, yeah, and I know Dane Amity was named in the Cup side today, but he's been playing plate for the last few games as well.
That's right.
So that's another luxury to have.
So you've got the entrance Lake, 2 teams that don't have sides.
Yep.
Muswellbrook, who are a game behind. That if that ends at the draw, that's going to hurt them. They need to play that game, Muswellbrook, because they'll beat them.
Yeah.
But that gets 3 to 8. Any of those 6 sides can make the 6.
Yep.
Okay. Again, they've got to come up against those 2. Newcastle City, Avoca.
Yep.
For mine, the most open and the most interesting competition is this one.
By a long way. Oh.
And for the first time ever, the top 2 read undefeated Maitland and Terrigal, Avoca. Ever. Killarney Vale were very good against Wine Lakes. Wine Lakes will come back hard. Cardiff played very good football today.
But that loss of Arizona, well, the potential loss of
the
Arizona
loss of Zona hurts them,
is
but
huge.
Newcastle City are not a 6th place side at 5 and 2.
No.
Forget the rest. They won't make it. It's as simple as that.
Yep.
They won't.
Yep.
So I think that's the top 6.
Yep.
But any of them could win.
They could.
I think Terrigal, Avoca have must have some interesting games coming up soon. They've definitely got Newcastle City games because we're doing Bar TV Black Diamond Cup that day.
Yes, so that'll be then.
Great test for them.
Yes.
Wine Lakes would have been disappointed with their performance against Killarney Vale, but they're not out of it at all. And remember, Sarah Ball didn't play that day.
No, she didn't either, actually. True, very true, actually.
On this seeding, Newcastle City are the most dangerous 6th seed in the history of football.
Yep.
Cardiff, not bad today. They'll miss Zona. Wyong, Lace, Killarney Vale, Terrigal, because they're the three sides next to each other.
Yeah.
And then Maitland, who are playing very good football.
Yeah.
It's real. Any of them could win.
Yeah.
If I was going to think preliminary finals,
that's what I was just about to. Yes.
I want to have this conversation when Terrigal has played some serious sides.
Yep.
I would think out of those six that the preliminary finalists won't be Cardiff or Terrigal.
I was just thinking that I would have said Killarney Vale, Wyong, and City being three, and looking for a fourth.
Maitland the fourth.
Fourth. Yep.
Interesting. And this is by far the most interesting women's competition we've had.
Yeah.
Nelson Bay have fallen by the wayside to a certain extent, and I just think it's such an open competition and could get very, very interesting.
Which could lead from the conversation we had a few weeks ago about having divisionalised or not divisionalised a women's competition. If it continues this way, David, it'd be interesting to see what they come up with. But that's for sure. But that's not for us to decide. So we'll leave that to the powers above.
My incompetence, I don't go on, this might surprise you, I don't actually go on the AFL website much. I can't find where Match Centre is here.
If you go to the main website, it just has a table on the right hand side. But you're right there now, you're in Match Centre.
Okay, so just updates before we get going here. Breeze picking up again. Thank you for the conversation, to Lucas Holmes.
Always enjoyable.
So our scores are into the third quarter at York Park in Launceston, otherwise known as UTES Stadium. Must be wet. Hawthorn 6-2-38, Port Adelaide 2-4-16.
If it's wet, 6-2 in the wet's very impressive.
Big ground too at York Park.
Yes, it is.
Docklands, bit of a surprise to mine. I reckon North Melbourne might be reacting to some things that are going on in the coaching box there.
You'd think so.
North Melbourne 9-3-57, and if it's wet, of course that's indoors. Footscray, Western Bulldogs 6-5-41, not out anyway. Later games tonight, an absolute cracker in about an hour. Adelaide and the West Coast Eagles at the magnificent Adelaide Oval.
Lewis Jett is out suspended, but they get and Daniel Venables is out, I think, as well. But they get back Will Schofield from injury, so there's a few changes there for West Coast.
Gold Coast Suns, who've lost their last four, have got Geelong, who've won their last five. That'll be a shellacking. The Marn Grook Trophy and the Dreamtime game, Melbourne Cougar Grounds, will be worth watching. Although I don't like either of those clubs much. Tomorrow. Big game for the Giants, although it's 15th against 3rd. It's at the MCG. Melbourne hosting Greater Western Sydney. St Kilda and Carlton, both sides going in with four losses in the last five at Docklands. And then the late game, which at Western time, so it's 20 past 5 our time. It's Australian Western Standard Time. Fremantle hosting Brisbane. And
which could be quite a good game, I think.
Fremantle will win.
Yep.
Over there.
Yeah.
So almost ready to go back here with our co-commentators Lucas James Holmes, David Red and Kendall Clawson with you on Bar TV. Next week, ladies and gentlemen, first chance at seeing Nelson Bay, first chance at seeing Wallsend West Newcastle. So our games that we will call that we know of for sure next week,
yep.
They think there's a fair chance the plate will be on. In the women's fixture at midday, Killarney Vale and Wallsend West Newcastle at midday. And then in the Black Diamond Cup, Killarney Vale and Nelson Bay, also at Adelaide Street at 2 o'clock. That's Saturday the 1st of June. A week off on the 8th of June for that women's game isn't Newcastle City either. Week off on the long weekend, and then Lucas and I come back with you, and we're calling Terrigal and Newcastle City in the Black Diamond Cup, which is going to be a monster.
At Hilton Mall.
At Hilton Mall.
Okay.
Up in the purgatory on the hill somewhere. Hopefully they've got a decent tent for us.
Had a few experiences there with. You think the breeze here is a bit stiff down there at. Exposed. But, however, it's a very nice ground there. They've done the drainage and that over the last few years. A great surface. As both sides now are heading back to their respective positions. We'll have Cardiff running from right to left in this third quarter.
This ground sets a template for grounds. Every ground in the league should be trying to be as good as this. 4 change rooms in particular, but
that's it. Much needed across the league with the explosion of women's football in the last 5 years in our region, David.
Yes, Lucas Holmes. Lucas will take us away from the start of the third quarter. I've got live scoring.
We have
over to Lucas Holmes.
Back to Keys and Quinlan in the middle for the start of this third quarter here. It's about to be go time for the second half. Cardiff down by 18 points. And we're off. Ryan Stanton says it's go time. Throw this ball in the air, and here we go. Give that one to Keys, goes up almost unopposed. Quinlan roves himself. O'Malley's there, gets the handball up in the air. Barnstorming through there is Crawford, gets a ball off the back of the square to Selkirk. Bamboozle gets hit at the point of the ball. Clark goes on the left foot. And back goes McDonald, thank you. Haven't seen McDonald much. Is that Delore down there injured? No, it's Hughes holding his nose. He's coming to the bench to try and avoid a blood rule. Gets knocked over the back here. Cardiff had the numbers smothered immediately. Kelleher goes out. Who does he find? We're obscured slightly. Is that Thompson or Crawford? Can't pick them. Gets a long sweep. O'Donoghue even. Here's Baker on his non-preferred left, but chips it in short. There, finding Watling. Plethora of talent have Newcastle City, and have Watling not playing in the square to start with shows that.
And Reed's not here today either.
He's not. Van Hoefsteed out. Swans games possibly today, I'm not sure.
But Watling's not there, so it's interesting.
Yeah. Watling from about 35. Hits it fairly high, but shaves it to the further side. Newcastle City with their first point of the day. 7 goals, 143, leading Cardiff 3-6-24. O'Donoghue somewhat manning the mark. Tomlinson plays on out of the square. Goes short. He's back there. Short into the pocket. Immediately plays on, goes back to Tomlinson. Is that 15? I don't think so. Is he called to play on? That was lucky not to be 50 metres. Goes long to the outer side. It is Tomlinson. Goes to Robson. No mark play on. Blistering speed from Robson. It almost had to take a bounce. Just kicks it on his measure. Evades Ryan. There's Rawnsley. That's a matchup. 2 balls. Rawnsley gets a handball. Bumped off the ball is Baker. Gets a handball over top to Delore. Finding O'Brien. O'Brien runs to his right side to the top of the square, and Trivet does the discipline thing and punches the ball legally over the line. Cardiff trailing now by 18 points. Over to you, David.
They're going to pay for this shooting, Lucas. They've had enough of the football. Haswell from the side, couldn't pick it up. Hawthorn gets a handball out. Michael Ryan gets the hands free, and he's been pinged for holding the ball, I think. Baker's taken it and gone. Advantage paid. Tomlinson.
Block.
Yes, but not paid. Clark. Tomlinson at the back. Kelleher putting pressure on the great man. He's over the football in trouble. Kelleher did very well not to give away a free kick. Mitchell Knight. Barrel-chested. Keith 1-on-1. No, won't get to him. Sweetenham 1-on-2. Taps it out cleverly. Out towards King. Edwards goes to ground too quickly. Out towards, was that Thompson?
It was.
Crawford won't miss. Jackson Crawford. Lovely goal, Jackson Crawford sniping. 8-1-49 City, Cardiff 3-7-25. Lucas.
Hunter Haval, looking for a feature-packed Prim SUV for your family? Check out Hunter Haval Maitland and Brian Hilton Haval North Gossip for the range of affordable SUVs. Book your test drive today.
And good defensive pressure in the 50. Gets a goal for Newcastle City. And that's what they wanted. They've now kicked the last 4 goals in this game. After Cardiff were in front. The last goal, Xander Cross kicked one in the 14th minute of the second quarter. Regan Bowen and Max Quinlan in the middle. Lucas Holmes.
Thank you, David. Give that one to Quinlan. Gets the ball out to the outer side. There's O'Neill. Gets it off to Delore. Delore goes further outside to Hawthorn. Hawthorn goes back straight away. Hawthorn goes sort of a wedge inside forward 50. However, Rawnsley takes it unopposed. Goes to, that wasn't Quinlan that time. It wasn't, beg your pardon. It was Baker. That's who it was. Vukovic gets a tap from almost taking a hanger. Vukovic goes long, high inside again. Job can't quite take the mark. O'Brien's there to do the discipline thing and try and trap the ball inside forward 50, which they can almost do here. They've got the numbers if Delore can get out, which he can't. O'Malley gets tackled. At the bottom there is O'Malley and gets pinned. However, was he infringing to his back? He wasn't, Delore. So we'll have a ball up just about 48 metres directly in front of Cardiff's goal here. In the 5 minutes gone in this third quarter, ball hits the ground. Quinlan goes whack And then Watling goes whack again off the ground. Was that a mark? It wasn't paid to Vukovic. Goes to Clark. Goes back to Vukovic. Gets nailed by O'Malley. Watling off the back of the pack. Ambles away. Gets this ball. This is going to be a foot race, and I think Crawford's going to win it. However, he doesn't take on the responsibility. Talking about responsibility, there's Haswell! Just to the left side. Newcastle City 8 goals 250, leading Cardiff 3 goals 7-25.
Tomlinson with designated kicking duties here. The great man John Sullivan in goal for his 1100th game. Unbelievable. Oh, that's one of the worst ones I've seen Tomlinson pull off. Clark may help there. Campbell, sorry. Haswell with his left. Misses. Now he's a chance. O'Donoghue off his non-preferred side. Is that Crawford? Gracious me. Can we go back to the kicker, please? Right.
Yeah, is that...
No, it's not.
Selkirk, then, is it? Or no, it's Thompson.
Thank you.
Yep.
Great work. So, Hamish Thompson. Good work, Lucas Holmes. Thank you, Kendall, as well, mate. Newcastle City 9-2-56. They've kicked the last 5. Repeat, 5 goals. Cardiff 3-7-25. Now beginning to pay for 2 things. Bad shooting, and they'll put under a lot of pressure on Newcastle's scrambly defence, which is what you've got to do.
Sure is, David. Ryan Stanton getting the ball back to the middle. Keys and Quinlan once again.
Gretz trying to match up here on the left-hand side with Baker, which is a fascinating matchup.
Interesting one.
They've got to get out of the way too.
Trying to lock him down. Give that one to Keys, looking for O'Brien. O'Malley wears him like a glove and gets the ball, breaks the tackle. O'Malley gets the ball going forward. Tomlinson looks like he's playing loose down there back, David, as well. Keys comes in and gets the ball. It rips it out. Kelleher on his natural left. Has he got that? No. Just to the away side. Another point for Newcastle City. 9-3-57. Cardiff 3-7-25.
O'Donnell short ball. Dangerous in there. Davies handball off to the rat Simon O'Brien. Lovely left foot step. Gets around Mitchell Knight. Goes wide. Beautiful spot to Hawthorn. Cardiff do have to do. They've got to run and Dan out. They're a long way behind. Michael Ryan, short hands, don't hit the spot. Rawnsley, left-hand handball. Away go City again. Thompson, driving ball. Tomlinson is he reads the ball as well as anyone I think I've ever seen at this level of football, Lucas. And that's a big statement. Robson.
It's a valid one, David, that's for sure.
At the back, Bow. Oh, high contact, surely. Yeah, paid. McDonald. Not bleeding, thankfully. It was very high contact. Short ball is not a good kick. Ends up in the hands of the right man, Connor Haswell. Watch this delivery. Left footer. Oh. O'Donoghue. Smothered. Poor. O'Brien. It wasn't smothered. He actually shanked that. O'Brien chipping back. Kelleher barreled out of it by Gretz. Gibson. Combox side. We're right above this. Lennon, who's been quiet today. Driving low ball. Lennon's perfect. To Xander Cross.
That's almost
Baker's,
50
that's
against
50.
Baker.
That's 50. And paid. Good call, Lucas Holmes. And you can continue on, Louis.
Thank you. No, well packed like so. It was one of those ones we both saw at the same time, wasn't it? And it had to be paid and was. So it should be a 50-metre free kick here to Anthony Baker.
Against Baker.
Sorry, against Baker. Yeah, sorry, to Cross. Cross will take this about 25 metres out from goal on a slight angle, but should be no issue, although kicking into the breeze. So Cross can do, you'd hope to kick it about 3/4 post height to try and keep it out of the breeze, and he does just that. Had he's kicked it. Pitch perfect there from Xander Cross. Gets Cardiff back going into this game. Cardiff, 4 goals, 7-31, trailing Newcastle City, 9 goals, 3-57.
Tyre Power are proud partners of the NCCUA and community AFL umpires across New South Wales and the ACT. Right now and exclusively at Tyre Power, buy 3 and get 1 free on selected Toyota passenger and SUV tyres. Catalogue full of big brand savings out now. Visit tyrepower.com.au or call 13 21 91 for your local owner-operator.
It's like that perfect timing. Went back to the middle. Done it like a pro, David. Give that one to Keys. Quinlan roves, and he's done that very well today, does Quinlan. Gets the ball off the back of the square. Picked forward. Picked off by Clark there. Almost infringed. Could have been 50. Was the right thing not to pay it. Goes short. Oh, no, that was Clark that time, however. Sorry, that would have been Vukovic to begin with. Clark goes long inside forward 50, looking for Ryan, but chopping in front was Lennon. Lennon can wheel and go. Is there an open goal square? Not quite, but he doesn't get over the top. No, he doesn't. Played on immediately. Goes long and wide. I think it was Baker on that occasion. Who does he find? A plethora of players are there. Quillen gets in, gets the handball out, goes to not his skipper. Intercepted by Keys. A very careful ball by Keys. Finds Ryan. About 47 metres out from goal. And Ryan, you'd think he'd go back and have a shot on goal. You know what key forwards are like, David?
He'll take a shot on goal. There'll be no dishing this one off on time now. Now, with this breeze, Michael Ryan's got to kick this at the left goal post. See if the radar's in gear. We'll be kicking from just inside 50.
It's all right, David. Not quite.
Short, Baker, and he's allowed to run it through. They've got to get out the square, and they do eventually. Baker, very smart play there. Takes the behind and goes. Thompson down the wing, right onto Kelleher's chest. Didn't have to move. Davies almost infracting. Keast, who's been held reasonably quiet today. I'd like to see him get some time on the ball. Watling, beautiful tackle, Clark. Gretz Shepherds and ends up getting the football. Dwyer, Batten, defensive quarterback. Baker, perfect to Keast. And O'Donnell's just inside. O'Malley, can Mac finish?
He can.
Oh, yes, he can. Great football, Newcastle City. They answer that charge just when Cardiff seem like they're getting a sniff. City 10-3-63, Cardiff 4-8-32. Lucas Jones.
Belmont 16-footers Sailing Club. Located on the picturesque Lake Macquarie, Belmont 16s is one of the premier venues in the Hunter region, offering the very best in dining, promotions and entertainment. For all the latest news and promotions, visit 16s.com.au or find us on Facebook, the home of AFL Hunter Central Coast.
Cardiff down by 31. City just steadying. City have kicked six of the last 7, Lucas Holmes. 6 of the last 7 to scoot away to a 31-point lead. Keys, Kelleher. Keys brilliantly down to Delure. Thumps the ball forward. Ryan one out. Oh, Job, I beg your pardon. And lovely grab by Brant Job. Now, this bloke is technically he's a very good kick. And even in this breeze, I'd reckon he's at least 65-75% chance of hitting this one. Once the ball goes through and we've given a score up, that will give you some scores around the grounds in the AFL HCC. Job. And he's kicked it. Brant Job kicks his second goal today. Cardiff 5-8-38, Newcastle City 10-3-63. And score updates for you right now. Kalani Vale by 84 over Singleton. Nelson Bay by 21 over Wyong Lakes. Warners Bay being kept honest by Maitland up by 19. Terrigal Oak up by 68 over Gosford. And they're the updates around the grounds. Lucas Holmes.
You, David? I'm just checking I've got my goal kickers.
Jove 2, Zoc, Xander 1, 2, Michael Ryan 1.
Cool.
O'Malley, Haswell, Baker all 2.
Yep.
Singles to Sweetenham, Keast, Crawford and Thompson. Ball back in the centre. Kelleher wins a tap. Micah Delure is starting to get some ball at the moment. Tomlinson. What a good tackle that is. And paid. Very rare to see him tackle. And good work, Isaac King. Lucas Holmes.
Thank you, David. King with a wobbly old kick. Does it get to O'Malley? It doesn't. Batten's front and square, exactly where you want to be. So was King on that occasion, following up his own good work. O'Brien gets it. Oh, that was a funky handball there on the end of O'Brien by Clark. Hot potato in the forward half here for Newcastle City. Watling goes on in the left foot to Keast. Spoiled by Gibson. Sorry, O'Donnell rather. O'Donoghue does well, gets a pirouette, but it was thrown out, was it, by O'Donoghue? It was. Free kick there.
Patrick
Delaney. Both sides of his body, goes on his right that time. Out there, one bounce straight away on his left.
Campbell.
There's Hughes there. And Robson on the back, sniping himself and does. Great tackle by Sweetenham. Hughes ducks the tackle, gets away for more. Good shepherd there, Robson, 2 or 3 efforts as well. Ryan's one out. Can he find him? Was he held? No. Appealing he was. Front and centre was Ryan. Dishes it out to Keys. Gets buffeted off the ball by Kelleher. Kelleher surveying his options. Gets a left-handed handball out to Dwyer. Can Dwyer pick it up? He can. Straightens onto his right boot. Dwyer goes long and wide. Tomlinson's there. Can he effect it? No. O'Donoghue from Newcastle City on his left. Goes deep inside forward 50. Goes to the back. There's O'Donnell. O'Donnell puts on another tackle. Oh, gets it high but not paid. Hacked through to there in front of Gibson. Goes out of bounds deep inside forward 50 for Cardiff. Sorry, for Newcastle City.
Looks like it's actually boundary thrown. The boundary umpire's coming running from a distance, and he is. 16 minutes gone, quarter number 3. Past the Felt Complex, Lucas Holmes, Kendall Clawson, David Redden with you. Black Diamond Cup football wouldn't be dead for quits. Fantastic to be here. Delua really starting to get his hands on the football a lot. One bounce. Great to see the big fella running so well. Driving ball. That ball's gone 85 metres in that carry. However, Rawnsley, we haven't seen those 2 injured players back either. Baker hasn't been back, so they're down to 20 men, Newcastle City. Durbridge. That's a big contest. That's against Haswell to Tomlinson, I reckon.
For a block.
For tunnelling. Just gives it back on the full. Tomlinson not impressed. 16 and 3/4 minutes gone off. One step. Hits Keys, lace out. Goes wide. Short 2 to a contest. Oh, that's hurt. Is Dwyer hurt? Yeah, he is. He's just twinged an ankle slightly. King's got to go. Does brilliantly.
And he's down on his haunches on the furthest possible away to trying to get off.
Yeah, just there. There he is. It's an ankle. You can see down there. He just twisted on him. Looks like you're going to be able to run out. They don't have too many options. So over here, just quietly, Baker's got the bandage on. He looks like he's actually right to go, but I don't think we'll see Blanchfield again. Baker, Anthony. Dwyer's that ankle seems to be okay now on his left. Good pick up low, Vukovic on Haswell. He appears to be taking Connor wherever he goes today. 17 and a half gone. Newcastle City up by 25. Short ball out, Gibson.
O'Donnell's
Max Quinlan
there if he wants
almost
him.
interfered on the mark. That's O'Donnell, is it? Thank you.
That's O'Donnell there.
Keish just got to hold that mark. Almost 50. Good grab, Triffett. We can see the forward line in front of him. Haswell's off to in the centre. Keith's got his back to the place. Going to go to Haswell. Almost a chop out against Vukovic, I thought. Don't know about you, Lucas Holmes. I thought.
With you with that one, David.
Campbell, Hawthorn, steps inside. Kicks it as far as he can, not far enough. Baker sees Keith one out. Off one step. That delivery is sublime, Lucas Holmes.
More than that, he was all by himself, which I find unbelievable almost, David.
Cam Keist has really had a quietish day. And Anthony Baker's just knocked up getting kicks. He's been brilliant. Keist. I reckon he's kicked that. Has. Another goal, City. Just feel the air deflating out of the Cardiff people next to us. Cam Keist second. Newcastle City 11-3-69. Cardiff 5-8-38. Lucas.
ISC have been at the cutting edge of designing and manufacturing apparel from grassroots to elite sporting teams for over 20 years and are proud to be the preferred apparel supplier of AFL Hunter Central Coast for the 2019 season.
Hawthorn up by 28 at York Park in Launceston, and it's still half time. It's now half time. North Melbourne up by 22 over the Doggies at Docklands. 31 points of difference here. Lucas.
Tipping's not looking so good so far, David. Anyway, that's another matter. Gratz bursts through. What a tap from Keys. Gratz goes long inside forward 50 looking for Job. Can he get the crumb of the ball? It can. That was Hawthorn that time playing forward. Intercepted, however. Thompson, here we go. Here's Mitch Knight. He's been a bit quiet, probably today for his own lofty standards. Watling's all by himself in the wing. On Delore, that's a great matchup. And Macaulay O'Malley goes through and get off my youngster. And there's a holding the ball decision being paid there, David.
Marcus Delore, that must have been O'Malley that went through on that Shepherd and just cleaned up Marcus.
Yeah.
Marcus to his enormous credit got up straight away.
Heavy and legal, no problems there. Here's Keast again. Can he fly? Oh. He did. Crumbing down. Is that Thompson or Crawford?
Connor Haswell.
No, neither. Don't worry me. That's what you want from your forwards there, David. Front and square.
And they got the ball because Keast went up and made a contest, got hands on it, crash ball, Haswell, 2 steps, goal, overshot.
And for someone like Keast, you don't have to take the ball every time. You can get the ball to ground and
it
extends their lead. Right. 12-3-75 to 5-8-38, David.
Thank you. You enjoy not doing live scoring, big fella?
It's weird because sometimes I see the goals go through the points and you reach for it and it's not there.
Time for me to take some responsibility. Keys, who impresses me as a ruck, I think that he's got a lot of promise for a young bloke. Haswell. Well picked up Clark. O'Brien going the wrong way. O'Neill. And then trouble. Haswell. Danger, 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 danger. But ordinary ball for him for the first time today. Quinlan just uses that bulk and gets rid of some. O'Brien. Knight. That's a good tackle, Simon O'Brien. Should have been rewarded. Newcastle City would be disappointed there with Haswell having an open run at it. 3 goals Haswell, doubles to Keast, Anthony Baker and Mac O'Malley today for City. Marcus Delure, who's been outstanding in this quarter. Long ball. Goes back there to Thompson. Couldn't quite take the mark. Tries to go soccer tactics effective. Marcus Delure, a high tackle, I think. Went over the mark so they could come in from the side. Reading that brilliantly is McDonald, who's been good. Sorry, that's Watling. Beautiful kick. Now, has he got Crawford? No, he's got Sweetnam, I think, who is nippy. Well done, David O'Donnell on Keast. Sweetnam, another chance. That's gone off to the side, I'm sure, and is out of bounds on the full, according to the great man, John Sullivan, sorry. He'll take that kick over near the Rhinos and Ram signs on the right-hand side over here.
Just to the other side of the behind post.
Lucas Holmes.
Thank you, David. So this kick in. Oh, is that Gibson? It is. You'd think Gibson would go long down the line. No, he's opened it up with that extra room he gets off the mark. Keast manning it. Goes with a long loopy handball. Goes long. Is that Edwards out there? Campbell. A new player. There's Keys. Keys immediately gets it off to Vukovic. Smart move. Lace out to Ryan. They're opening the guts here, David. Well pointed out. Who is it? Sits under the ball. Does well in the end. Does Delaney. It's 2-on-1. Can Delaney keep his feet? He has. But O'Donoghue, no, it was Thompson that time off halfback, gets it going the other way. This is O'Donoghue. O'Neill, does he step in this side? He does, on the left foot. However, Mitch Knight, all by his lonesome, and he had one further ahead as well. Does he wheel and go? He thinks about it. He needs to move out of the protected area there as well. However, the captain takes it on his own, and he's going to go back and have a look. Just thought through his first, and Newcastle City's 13th goal of the day, David. Distance may test him here, though. Mitch Knight gets awfully close to the man on the mark. In fact, goes over the man on the mark, and it'll be a 50-metre penalty. Reminiscent of Dane Rampy late last night, David.
Yeah, Rampy's had an interesting 7 or 8 days.
He has, hasn't he? He has, and this will be all but confirmed for Mitch Knight now. Player of his class will not miss from there.
I think he's going to kick inside the square because he might actually be on the line. He is on the line. There you go. So the mark was actually inside 50. Keith's got to clear away. Mitch Knight cost them a football. And there we go. Mitchell Knight's first. Lucas, the score?
Newcastle City, 13 goals, 3-81, leading Cardiff 5-8-38 after 24 and a quarter minutes.
Bar TV Sports, the specialist in live streaming and broadcasting of sport, including the AFL Hunter Central Coast. Bar TV Sports, making your game the main game. While they get a football, updates around the grounds for you, my dear friends on Bar TV. Killarney Vale up by almost 100 against Singleton. Nelson Bay up by 16 over Wyong Lakes. Wyong Lakes still trying. Warners Bay made to work by Maitland. This is good for the league. Maitland down by 18. And Terraglawaka thumping Gosford. City up by, as my sheet nearly goes.
David Sheets nearly goes, not mine, surprisingly.
Yeah, it normally sits in the back up here, but I'm doing a lot of reads today.
And the ball goes back. There's Batten leading O'Brien to the ball. Watling comes off the back. In fact, it was Selkirk. In there is Knight. He's improved in the last quarter or so and lays another tackle, but straight into the back that time of Clark.
No, he's actually paid that as holding the ball.
Sorry, to Knight. However, it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. It's three-quarter time. Newcastle City, 13 goals, 381, leading Cardiff 5-8, 38. Goal kickers. Just do a quick run through the goal kickers. Firstly for Cardiff, 2 goals each for Xander Cross, Brant Jobe, and for Michael Ryan. And for Newcastle City, David, 3 goals to Connor Haswell, 2 to Macaulay O'Malley, 2 to Cam Keys, 2 to Anthony Baker. Then singles for Mitch Knight, Hamish Thompson, Jackson Crawford, and Brady Sweetenham. We'll have a quick break here with you, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back with the fourth quarter here from the Pasterfield Sporting Complex.
Welcome back to the Pastorville Complex at Cameron Park, with Newcastle City comfortably in front by 43 points here at three-quarter time. Just a couple of quick around the grounds for you. Killarney Vale up by 73-85 over Singleton at Adelaide Street. That's a very good game of football at Dick Bell. Nelson Bay just up by 16. Maitland making Warners Bay fight and fight and fight. Nick Turner and Luke Roach stuck on the tarmac at Denpasar Airport last night after a volcano went up. They were on the tarmac and they got pulled in. Terrigal up by plenty over Gosford, 78. And, of course, here, 43 points the difference. To Newcastle City.
Hugh Blanchfield, obviously, with that huge collision on the in front of the Cardiff interchange mentioned earlier on. He'd just seen him with his boots off walking down the tunnel. So, as expected, he won't take any further part in this game.
And I think I'll be very pleased and relieved that decision's been made. Okay, just about ready for the last quarter. Cardiff down breeze, but really they've kicked 5 goals in 3 quarters. They have to do something miraculous to get home here. What have they got? Marcus Delura on ball. O'Neill into the centre as well. I wonder what they're considering putting. Keith's gone on into the ruck, Lucas Holmes. Now, you would think that Keys will make a difference in the ball-ups here, but if they get ball-ups around the ground, Keys will just use that massive frame.
Yeah, it's going to be trouble for Keys. You'd expect for Keys not wanting to go anywhere near him in that sense, because you just out-body him.
Making his full commentary debut, Lucas Holmes will take us into the fourth quarter. You're doing a great job, my son.
Thank you.
Away you go. Away you go.
Learnt from one of the best. Can't complain. Cam, as you said, Cam Keys, Tom Keys, not a problem at all. Watling back in the middle, and possibly the man of the match as well, Anthony Baker at the back, defensive position. Keys, give that one to Keys actually. Knocked out of there by Baker, directly to us. It's coming straight to us. Mitch Knight playing, sweeping at the back. Can he get the ball? He has. Gets the soccer along the ball. Here's to Dwyer. Here's Watling as well, has been also very impressive. Of course, in the Swans academies. There's King on his left. Is he going to square it? He can. Top of the square, defensive thing done. There's Crawford off the ground.
Give me your strength.
He's missed though.
I just thought as soon as you got near that ball, I was watching while you were commentating. I thought, oh, look out, danger. He gets it clean, it'll be a goal. Now, I think they might have. Oh, they've got away. They go.
Real quick. They're back into the centre. They are. Scrubby kick was that Job, it was. Here's Lennon out on the lead, very explosive on the half-forward line. Durbridge does very well. Is it deliberate, though? No. Has there been a whistle from the central umpire to say the decision? No, but looks like the ball's going to be thrown in. Deep inside forward 50 for Cardiff,
That was a case for deliberate.
Yep. You don't see it
he
paid
can
very
punch
often.
in a contest, you can punch it as far as you like, as long as it's in a contest, but that wasn't. Jack Lennon was there.
Yep. That was almost a block, but both players were blocking, so it's been allowed to play on. There's Delora. He's been almost one of the best for Cardiff. Shakes the tackle, shapes to the top of the goal square. Was it touched through by Rawnsley? It was. Cardiff now 5-9, as we we're talking about before, a bit of incorrect shooting, errors in shooting, trailing Newcastle City 13 goals for. Durbridge goes short to Baker. Gets further off the mark. Ryan's manning the mark. Goes straight over the man on the mark. Here's Dwyer. Had to wait a while, but got there in the end in front of Clark. Wheels around on his right boot. Does Dwyer. Goes long down the line. Has one at the back!
Unrealistic in my mind.
Yep, no.
Unreal. That should have been a free kick to Tomlinson for mine, Lucas.
Yep. However, Clark gets along the line. Goes high and long. And there's someone at the back again. And his Hughes as well as Lennon. However, Durbridge again escorting the ball over the line. However, that time it was legal under direct pressure, David.
Thank you. 2.25 minutes gone, 43 points the difference. City comfortably in front. Deep in Cardiff. I think Michael Ryan's up here, is he? Is he nominated? He has. So it's Ryan and Keast. Keast falling backwards, gets a very good tap. Patrick Delaney staying on his feet. Ryan can't stay on his feet. The ball goes out of bounds. So next week, Lucas Holmes and I will be at Adelaide Street Oval. And the Black Diamond Cup game will be Killarney Vale and Nelson May. Looks like they're going to be two last start winners. And then Killarney Vale's a fantastic women's side up against Wallsend West Newcastle, featuring Boothie and Amy Pittman, which will be good stuff to watch that as well. Out of bounds. Ange Jones in the day of her life today. We think she's kicked 18 goals.
It's a big one. Obviously, very tall but mobile player, Ange Jones. Singleton struggles to have a sort of that key back matchup for Jones.
Keys to double hand up. Baker gliding through like the prime mover that he really is. Keys will thump this, despite Ryan's attempt. Gets a long ball, holds up in the breeze. Tomlinson in front where he always is. Baker a diving handball. Crawford with a lovely little checked kick more than anything. Now Crawford's continuing on here. Knight ignores him. Goes square. Well marked the back. O'Donnell. Step off his right. Back to O'Donnell, who's left-footed. Back to Marcus. He'll give that off to the Rat, I'd reckon. No, picked off by Triffett. Baker, Anthony. 2-on-1. Crawford came hard. Edwards did enough to put him off. Crawford could have gone harder at it. Dwyer falls on his feet beautifully. Short ball. He's inside out, really. Not really an effective kick. Vukovic. Well picked up O'Neill. Should be back to Vukovic here. Quick handball. Hawthorn thumps it long, straight down the spine. Marking contest. Hughes recovers quickly. Bounce wamboozles him. Selkirk. Jobe. Little short handball. Hughes again trying to beat a man. Rawnsley, sorry. Triffett. And away goes the machine. Selkirk wide. Picked off Tomlinson, who's been one of Cardiff's best today. Short ball is immaculate to Patrick Delaney. Just outside 50. That's in. Did he touch it? Oh, my good. Jack Lennon did the unselfish thing there, and it's cost them a goal. Cardiff 5-10-40. Newcastle City 13-4-82. Durbridge has just pulled up lame there from a kick in that ball. Baker. Watling. Baker for about his 35th or 36th touch. Wide. Magnificent to Haswell. Just makes it look so easy, Lucas Holmes. Haswell finds Knight inside 50.
Swing Mitch Knight forward's an interesting one, David.
It is. Lucas Holmes.
Thank you. Knight surveying his options, almost goes square, looking for Kelleher, outdoes him. O'Neill's at the drop of the ball, so is O'Donnell. Can't quite get there. Ripped out of it was O'Neill. O'Brien's in and under. So is Sweetenham. It's a bit of a size mismatch. Was slung there, not paid. Dangerous play, but butted up by Sweetenham. Does more. That was dragged back in. O'Brien able to get the ball out. Clark, rather, is there. Gets it to Tomlinson. Gets pushed down. Keast and Gretz are there. Thompson with a good tackle. Appealing for in the back, I think, but wasn't paid there by umpire Parsons, and he'll bowl the ball up just to the left side of the centre circles. Keast dumps the ball forward. Does Baker again. Top of the square, no mark. Play on this. Kelleher, he's on his favourite left side. Watch out, Crawford can do anything. Shimmies one way, shimmies the other. Crawford over his shoulder, pulls it too much. Through for a point. Newcastle City 13 goals, 5-83, leading Cardiff 5 goals, 10-40, David, after 6 3/4 minutes in the last quarter.
Thank you. You'd almost back him from there. Yeah. I was expecting that to go through.
You have those players that you're more comfortable on the run or in tight angles rather than in set shots, and he's probably one. He's a very good sharpshooter. He's very much so. Mitchell's still. Is he still in the US doing
I don't know where Mitchell is. I'm not sure.
He's on a.
Job goes backwards.
He's doing some punting work in the NFL. So many Australians are now as well, which is good to see.
I think he ended up at Vanderbilt as a punter.
Vanderbilt?
Vanderbilt, yep. Kelleher will run in to kick a goal. Very, very easy. Just called by crash ball. And a simple goal to Hugh Kelleher from about 3 metres. And that is his first for today. The score check. Newcastle City 14-5-89. Cardiff 5-10-40. Opportunity here for score checks from Launceston and Docklands. Okay. At York Park in Launceston, Hawthorn 10-5, Port Adelaide 5-8. And North Melbourne putting the foot down there, 12-5-77 over the Doggies, 7-8-50. And big changes coming in the North Melbourne Footy Club. Looks like Brad Scott's gone. If he's not there today, he'll be gone by tonight by mutual agreement.
John Barkers could be a candidate to coach down there.
Well, there's actually an article on there earlier on saying that John Longmire is also a candidate.
Ooh, that's an interesting one.
Very.
You'd think it'd take a fair bit to price him away from the Swans at the moment.
Keys, brilliant left pickup on his bootlaces by Brant Jobe. At the back is Lennon. Isaac Hughes. If he's kicked that, he's a freak. Just behind. So, again, Cardiff shooting, as we discussed, 5 goals, 11 is just not good enough. And it's cost them. Durbridge. He's got Rawnsley to his right. No, I agree with that. That was about 12. That is.
It's gone a fair bit wide, though.
Ryan trying to take a mark, blocked. Cardiff just looking tired. Clark can't work that around, and it's still in, actually, remarkably. Hughes is he's liable to kick that. Robson, holding the ball.
Against Hughes.
Gives a mouthful too, Durbridge.
And there's 50 for it. For the
yeah, well, there I saw the descent, and that's not a surprise. Sort of sums up Cardiff's day a bit, doesn't it? Really, kind of a good home crowd here at Pasterfield.
Yeah, big crowd too.
For mine, Newcastle City cementing themselves as the favourites for this year's flag today, Lucas.
You can't argue with that one, David. I don't think. Not many people will.
We'll have a look at it again when they play the Panthers in 3 weeks. Oh, great mark, Nick Tomlinson. Really clever.
But his legs caught underneath the body of Vukovic there, but came up all right.
It was awkward. It's a hip, I reckon, hip flexor injury. Looking. We want to go off one step. Davies is out wide. That's about 8 metres. Goes to O'Donnell. Back to Tomlinson. Going to his left. Uses hands to go to Davies, who's lost the ball in the sun. Trouble here. Newcastle City putting enormous pressure on. Shows their fitness and their endeavour. O'Malley making it very difficult. Great work, Mac O'Malley. Fantastic pressure, Newcastle City. Simon O'Brien attempts a one-handed pickup, can't get there. O'Malley diving, misses him. Knight's putting the pressure on here.
That should be.
That's a free kick against Max Quinlan for not going the football to Campbell, I reckon. Lucas Holmes.
Thank you, David. Long chipping ball. Honours the lead there of Gibson. Long lead, immediately goes. Gibson, where's he going to go? Almost has to take a bounce. Runs his measure. Down there is Delaney. Gets it back. Gibson gets it back. They're playing 1-2s here. Quick ball to Gratz. Back to Gibson. Goes into Clark. Overshoots Clark. Thompson is there. Does very well to keep his feet. Great tackle there by Bo. However, can't affect it. Batten on his left foot. Standing there in front and takes off immediately is Vukovic. Vukovic going straight through the middle. That's going to be interesting. Robson on Sweetenham. Robson steps to the inside and Sweetenham does very well to get the tackle on. Robson gets the handball out. Almost take the legs out, not paid. Ryan's there, gets it off. Here's Lennon. Can take a bounce if he wants one. Can he get inside Durbridge? He can. Not. Misses to the near side. Another point for Cardiff. 5-12-42. Trailing Newcastle City 14 goals 5. Go on.
That tackle by Sweetenham on Robson was brilliant. That was such a great effort this deep in the game.
Yeah, it was very well done because Robson had been able to get him back, got on the inside of him once already, but Sweetenham butted up for more. He's been good so far.
Batten down the line. O'Malley, a chest mark, misses it. Puts a fend on, beats 1, beats 2. He's such a strong player. Pound for pound, one of the strongest in the league, I reckon. O'Donnell, Tomlinson in exactly the right spot. Delaney on his left goes wide, hits Gretz, who's been a bit quiet today, Bryce Gretz. Down the line, finds Jobe. He's got some time and space. Here's Marcus Delure's voice. Marcus plays on, beats Cam Keast like he's not there, and kicks a goal. Marcus Delure, that's well deserved.
It is. Their best player on the day, in my opinion, David.
I agree with that. Marcus Delure on the day with his folks are up here. Kicks a goal. It's all a bit too late. Cardiff 6-12-48. Newcastle City 14-5-89. Lucas James.
ISC have been at the cutting edge of designing and manufacturing apparel from grassroots to elite sporting teams for over 20 years and are proud to be the preferred apparel supplier of AFL Hunter Central Coast for the 2019 season.
Warners Bay just up by 14. Nelson Bay at home over Wine Lakes up by 22. And the other two games are up by 100. So that's been kept very interesting by Maitland, although they've kicked 6-12. They'll be crank with that. I don't think Marty Ryman's going to be happy about tonight. However, a win's a win if they can hold on. Quinlan, and that looks like Regan Bow in there now.
Correct.
Quinlan. Light adjust on the camera there as well. I think he's better suited for them in the backs, but that's just my opinion. Tim Cotter's a wiser man than me. Baker stays, puts his head over the ball. Wide. Watling.
Graceful.
Yep. Keaston, no, sorry, O'Donoghue in front. Delaney almost undisguised, taps that out. 13 3/4 minutes gone last quarter. Newcastle City up by 41. Lucas.
Keith is going to take the throw in against Bow. Bow will try and run away and jump. I thought Keith's nominated, but mustn't have been picked up. However, play goes on. Hawthorn gets the hands out the back. Delore off a step, goes long down the line, looking for Ryan. Ryan's in front, however, goes out in front of Ryan and Luke Rawnsley. Is that Isaac Hughes nominating for the Rocketeers?
Keys, isn't it?
Sorry, Keys. Excuse me, Keys. Who's going to come in late here for Newcastle City? Quinlan. Resuming their battle as they have done for most of the day. Quinlan gets back position, but better in the end. Keys butters up for more, gets a shepherd on as well, which is well done. Then there is Delaney. He's battled hard as well. Gretz on his left. Tumbles the ball inside forward 50. Picked off. Play on. By McDonald. Excuse me. And there's Sweetenham flying for the mark. However, can't influence it. Robson runs around on his right foot. Goes back deep inside forward 50 at the back. As that Durbridge takes a mark on his ankles. Called to play on. Goes a chipping ball. A very dangerous run in the middle of the corridor. However, his drag out of it was not paid. Play on. However, they get the ball back. Was that O'Malley goes long forward. Wayne out his Kelleher. You think you turn and go. Goes to Batten. Batten goes straight through the corridor. Very courageous there from Vukovic. Should have a free kick, not paid. Gibson goes out. There's O'Neill gets wrapped up straight away. What's the decision going to be? Holding the football. Did make a genuine attempt to dispose, David. And gets paid to O'Donoghue. And is that 50 again?
It's an interesting decision.
Sorry, David.
That was an interesting decision. That was line ball on prior or no prior.
I think he got wrapped up fairly simultaneously, but I think it was more than not giving a genuine attempt to dispose of the football is why he was pinged. However, we go on. O'Donoghue goes long and high. It's going to drop in the goal square. Gretz is front and centre. Gets the ball in the end. Gretz on his left. Chips it out. Here we go. Robson. No, sorry, that was Robson there. Gets a handball receive. Out there is Keys. Runs into. Let's run into, and there's a whistle for holding.
Holding. McDonald, I think.
Thank you, David. They go back. They raffle it. Batten and McDonald. Sorry, Baker and Batten. Durbridge is there trying to get the ball. However, he goes the outer side. There's Sweetenham. He's warmed into this game in this last half. He's performed well in the end as Sweetenham. Trying to play tempo football as you'd expect now, Newcastle City. 20-metre chipping ball to Kelleher. Will wheel onto his left. Robson within 2 metres, so that's fine. Kelleher goes long. Crushing the pack there was Haswell. O'Malley's there. In fact, it wasn't O'Malley, it was Dwyer. Vukovic gets the ball at the back. Goes long and high, however. Goes straight down the throat of Watling. Watling, where does he go? 45-degree into the middle of the ground. Play on Baker. Almost been best on ground all day. Baker, however, makes probably his only error of the day. And goes to Campbell. Picks out Campbell in the back half. Wheels are right onto his left. Overshoots. Goes to McDonald this time. Immediately raffled by Delore. Almost a one-on-one strip there from Delore. That's exactly what it was. Goes long and high. Ryan's out the back if he can get the bounce of the ball. Snapped off the ground. However, to the near side once again. Cardiff 6-13-49. Trailing Newcastle City 14-5-89. 17.5 gone, David.
Thank you. Baker for what must be his 40th touch. Triffett. He'd have 40 touches today, I reckon. Don't think that's an exaggeration. 17 and 3/4 minutes gone. City comfortably in front. Steam's gone out of this one. City's real. They put it to bed in the third quarter. Down the line. Mitchell Knight again forward, which is most unusual. Vukovic thumps the ball forward. You'd hear the contact on his instep. Isaac Hughes, who's I think has got enormous potential. Really do. I think he's going to be a very exciting player for years for this footy club. Triffett. Little short chipping ball. Oh, great fly now. Who's the free kick to?
O'Malley. For a block or a push. It's O'Malley's. And it'll go straight to him.
Jeez, I didn't see the push. That was right in front of us.
It was a block or a push. That's what. That's. I don't know what one was paid for, but those are the only two conceivable decisions.
I tip my hand to you, sir. You're an umpire.
That's
a mark. That's a mark. Gibson, 300 gamer for this football club. Wonderful achievement whenever that happens. Campbell's got to go quickly. Crawford rapidly chasing. O'Donoghue, Lennon. Now O'Donoghue needs to stop. Lennon's quicker than him. Lennon tucks it between his legs, holding the man. Actually, that's a professional free kick, and away he goes. Well done, Sweetenham, to come in and put a tackle on. Durbridge, Delaney, O'Brien, brilliantly smothered. Goes Renato Jackson, gets beautiful contact on it. Clark drives it forward with his right boot. One-on-one, good. Hughes almost. One of those days for Isaac, I'm afraid.
Everyone has them, even the best, David.
Selkirk, Thompson. McDonald, Thompson. Over the shoulder, must be a free kick and an injury. Batten, that's a big contest, and whoever that is down there, is that Regan Bowe? He's not in a good way. No, it's not Bowe. Bowe's on the ball.
Is it Vukovic?
I can't tell. I think that player's actually got a head bandage on the side from previous. Are they going to stop play? They are. There's trainers coming from left, right, and centre. Warren Lovell out again.
Batten's come off injured too.
Has he?
Hobbling.
Yeah, hobbling. Yeah, he's okay.
Was in that.
He was in that
collision.
contest.
Yep.
No tattoos, so it's not Hawthorn. Is it Isaac Hughes? Batten wounded, but okay.
Looks like the hairstyle of Hughes, doesn't it?
Yeah, Warren Lovell right out to him straight away. No, it's O'Donnell, actually.
O'Donnell, yep.
It's David O'Donnell. Not in a good way, and Warren Lovell will get him straight off over the interchange. There's only 5 minutes left. And we'll just wait and see if a stretch is coming because the clock hasn't stopped. By my understanding of the rules.
It hasn't yet. They haven't called for it.
Is the stretcher on yet? No. So just see if he needs a couple of people. Yeah, he's not in a good way, and he won't play any further today. Warren Lovell's got him under control.
Take him straight off too.
He is concussed.
Not going
he's
to.
rubbery-legged and concussed.
And that's what he's pointing to there is Warren Lovell, the head.
Busy day today for Smiley, and off comes O'Donnell.
Unfortunately.
And he will sit. Yeah, unfortunately. Again, earlier on, Arizona Cross, we hope hasn't done, but the thoughts are that she has done a significant knee injury. And she just looked in the best condition, and she's in great form. She was having a great game, so we hope that Zana's okay. Clock did stop. So we're going to do some extra time. Durbridge down the line, open side. Max tries to step his man, doesn't, goes to Mitchell Knight. Knight off one step, doesn't actually hit anyone, which is unlike Mitchell. Vukovic reading it. Oh, intercepted. Crawford like a thief in the night. Tomlinson, handball. The Rat, Simon O'Brien. Down the line. Perfect delivery, and I do mean perfect to Joe. Lennon. Ryan in front. Lovely grab above his head. Hughes is gone. He's ducked right out the back. Hughes is short now. There he is. That'll be Isaac Hughes on the chest.
Lennon's kept going as well, so he's out the back if he wants him. But he's deep
now
in the
he's
pocket.
got himself too deep, though, Lucas. Sorry.
Yeah, that was the point exactly I was going to make. He'd gone too deep, and he's tried a second lead, but again gets ignored. But the goal kicking form Isaac Hughes is in, you'd almost back him. Well, not back him in, but expect him to kick this. Hughes, just outside 50, he'll kick this. Needs to start on the right goalpost, which he's done. Is he going to hold its line? Yes, it is. Goal for Isaac Hughes. Just what Cardiff need. However, it's too little, too late. Cardiff, 7 goals, 13.55. Trailing Newcastle City, 14 goals, 5.89.
Score checks for you. Warners Bay's won by 7 points over Maitland. Terrigal won by 113 over Gosford. Killarney Vale's won by 111 over Singleton. And there's a double score here, but I think that Nelson Bay's up by 34 points over Wyong Lakes, and that's Nelson Bay's first win of the season. So very well done, Maitland Saints. That's their best effort by a long way this season.
Yeah.
Warners Bay hanging on, get the win. And should have a full-strength side back next week or close to it. And Ben Crawley playing his first game of the year for Warners Bay on the plate today, Lucas.
He sure did.
With the side up and narrow by folding, which is sad. Durbridge. O'Brien at ground level, stolen by Thompson, flat out stolen. I reckon he's been all right today, Campbell. He's been okay. O'Donoghue sweeping left-hander. Thompson, wide. Perfect delivery, Quinlan. Now, Keith should go left. Keith should go to his right here. That's a one-on-one up deep. And Keith has his back's turned here. That's not the first time today that that's happened.
And you could also see Tomlinson drifting back too, just trying to impact whatever contents he chose to go to. And they're going to turn it over here, and they have. Trying to cut it to run and carry the other way. Out of side there is that Delore it is. And that familiar gate. Goes to Davies on the outer side. Back to Delore's going to get crunched if he's not careful, and did well to evade. Kelleher's there, gets the handball received. Does well below his knees, Kelleher on his non-preferred right side. Goes to Sweetenham, who's been, as we said, very good. Gets a handball, draws to O'Malley. O'Malley could finish this, David.
Oh,
and he has. Beautiful finish. Mac O'Malley for his 3rd goal of the day. And that class just rises to the top. Newcastle City, 15 goals, 5.95. Leading Cardiff, 7-13-55. And we're checking some scores from around the grounds once again.
Hawthorn up by 35 at York Park. North Melbourne up by 20 points at Docklands, and Port and Adelaide and West Coast are just getting going now.
It'll be a ripping game.
Adelaide Oval, yeah, big house too.
It'll be a magnificent stadium to go to one day, Adelaide Oval.
Yeah, I'd love to go there with you, my friend. That'd be wonderful.
With all the redevelopments that's happened in the last few years.
Kelleher and Keys. Keys that tap out. Haswell onto the ball. It's dangerous. Keys. Vukovic off his right. Good defence. Both players went the punch there, interestingly. Hughes just had one of those days where he just hasn't had. He's got a lot of opportunities. He's got himself in position. You just can't pick it up clearly today. So, yeah, look, I suppose the best thing about today is that we actually saw a competitive game of football. We've had a look and seen who was tested and put under the microscope. Cardiff have, and they haven't reacted overly well. They've been okay. Now, whistle.
That's just cramp.
You don't stop a game for cramps.
Great decision. Great call from one of the crowd members over there. Exactly what you just said.
It's not an injury. $40 points of yes. City have been shown for me that they're the favourites for the flag, Louis.
Yep.
And remember they've done it with 20 men.
Yep.
So that's remarkable. If he kicks that, that's a freakish kick. Oh, that's almost brilliant from Hawthorn. No, it wasn't Hawthorn. It might have been actually Hawthorn. It wasn't Hughes. It's something Hughes would do. Long ball here.
And there's the siren, David.
So on the day that Lucas Holmes successfully makes his commentary debut, well done, mate. Great job.
Thank you.
Well done, pal.
Thank you.
Newcastle City 15-5-95 have defeated Cardiff 7-13-55. For Newcastle City, triples to Mac O'Malley and Connor Haswell, and doubles to Brant Jobe and Xander Cross. Lucas, very good performance. Subway Morissette player of the game, mate, please.
Subway Morissette player of the game. Key players for me, Anthony Baker probably being the main one, David. In my opinion, Ethan Durbridge was also good. Haswell and O'Malley for Newcastle City. And for Cardiff, I think we touched on Marcus Delore being one of their better players. Jobe was all right with 2 goals. Campbell was actually very good down back. And also Pat Delaney, I thought, stood out today.
Baker, done. Lucas Holmes and I will be joining you next Saturday from Adelaide Street Oval, along with our man Kendall Corson for a couple of different games there in the women's. We're not sure if we're at the plate yet, but certainly the women's. Killarney Vale and Wallsend West Newcastle, and then two sides that have won today, Nelson Bay and Killarney Vale in the Black Diamond Cup. On behalf of Kendall Clawson and Lucas James Holmes, my name's David Redden. We wish you a very good evening from Pasterfield Oval in Cameron Park. See you soon.